Hello, everyone. Jim Jesus here. So basically, I have something that that was sent to me just right now. I haven't watched it. I did look at the quote-unquote sources for this video. But anyways, we're here with Promethium Oxide and Shiny Silver. Hi. So yeah, apparently Esoteric Entity made a video about me because I'm living rent-free in his head for some reason. It's funny because like he'll constantly tell Dapperton that I'm obsessed with him, and it's like, wait, I'm what now? I'm playing Mario over here. Like, what are you talking about? Where is it? There's the editor.
I took time out of my busy day looking up CS:GO stats for the major to watch this god-awful Midnight Phantom video. So.
I accidentally upon it because he spams his videos in every server that I have mutual with him, so I accidentally clicked on it. And I was like, wait, what the fuck is this?
Yes, he does that a lot. I just ignore it. I just kind of ignore most of what he does. I haven't tweeted about him or made videos about him or anything for a while. I did re-upload a Trudel Tom video, and that was because Trudel Tom had quit the internet. All of his videos were gone. He deleted his Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all of that stuff. But I thought there was one video that needed preserving. And so I just re-uploaded it on my channel. I didn't add any commentary. I didn't add any commentary on it whatsoever. I literally copied and pasted exactly what was on the original post, which was like, hi. It even says that I'm talking to him. Even though it's not me, and it just says mirror in the original title. Didn't change, use same thumbnails, everything. It was just whatever. He says he won the debate. I don't think he would have a problem with it, so whatever. And the only thing that I tweeted about it was, or about him at all for the longest time was, and it wasn't even about him. I just said that FNet was vaporware because it is. It's never going to come out. So... I don't know what spurred this at all. I know that they were mad at me because Dapperton made a tweet about their video that he showed me. Like I didn't, whatever. And then we decided to have some fun with him. I was like, go ahead and tell him that I manipulate you. And of course they bought it because they're stupid. But anyways, let's get into this. I don't know why this was made, but I guess before we get into it, we should talk about the sources that he's citing in the video.
Oh my.
So it's probably going to play first. No, it's not. Okay, good. So in there's relevant citations, and there's 4 links. The first link is to his own channel. Why? The second link is to his SO posting channel. And it's not going to any particular video. It's just Back Alley Philosophy is the first link. The second link is... The second link is SO posting. The third link is my channel. And then the last one is my Twitter. And it's not a tweet. It's just my Twitter account. So you can see it. And you can go and look, and you won't see a lot of stuff on there about him almost at all. Like, you have to really scroll down because it's been a long time since I even talked about him. But apparently, living rent-free in his head. And he's projecting that view on me. But... let's go ahead and get started. Let's see if I can play this from here.
Hey there.
All right, let's go ahead. Oh, so we should probably read this because the quality is really shitty. Like, his aesthetics are garbage. So it's just a bunch of really small text. Yeah, well, he uses MS Paint. So, hey guys, so this rant is really just intended to be put out as quickly as possible. I have not seen this, by the way. I just intended to be put out as quickly as possible so that I vent and get some issues which have been bugging me for a long time off of my chest. As such, I'm not going to be putting much effort into editing this. You don't put much editing in everything, whatever. But, all reference materials will be located in the description, which is just basically all of our YouTube channels and my Twitter account. So there you go. There's citations right there. I exist. Here we go.
Here. So just a quick.
Are you pausing it?
What?
Are you pausing it?
Quick disclaimer.
No.
Hold on. This site is kind of buggy. Let me see. Get out of this. Yeah.
Isn't going to be
Here we go.
like regular content, and don't expect any more videos like this to be put out in the near future, because I think that this is what most people would vaguely consider to be drama content. And I fucking cannot stand drama content or even being remotely involved in it.
Hold on.
And based upon past viewer
Pause it real quick. I guess I don't have control over this. Then why does he have an entire channel dedicated to drama? He spent like almost all of last year trying to go after communists and accuse them of being pedophiles. Like he's been trying to accuse Michelle Caitlin of being a pedophile while citing like people like David Charette. And by the way, he is, and I have proof that he's citing David Charette. Accusing who else is on there? I don't know. He's on his server. He's got like tons of like gay ops rooms where he was going after people like True Little Tom and Sargon and Six Hexenhammer and like just data mining and all kinds of crap. It's like, what the fuck?
And then Cacti comes out as a one-man autism weapon.
Because, like, what are you gonna do to make Cacti's life worse? Like, honestly.
All right. I'll let you play, so go ahead and play.
Okay.
I'll just...
You guys particularly enjoy watching it, at least not as much as my regular content. And indeed, I have no joy in making
Nobody
this.
enjoys
in
watching
fact,
his
this was
regular
probably
content.
the hardest
That's true.
script which I've
I get
ever
joy out of
had
this
to
one
write.
now.
Mainly because this is going to end up covering some personal detail about myself, which I'd really rather not go into and prefer to distance this channel from. Because it's briefly going to be touching upon a chapter in history, which most people in the voluntarist circles, at least
Let me
who
turn
watch
this
me
up
in
a little bit.
Dapperton, refer to as the anarchist meme war of 2018.
Who the fuck called it that?
I
No.
pointed this out, right, in our server, but, like, it was such a meme war, you know, providing information about Dapperton's kid, trying to create a case for, like, CPS to somehow be, like, weird shit. Okay. Really memey right there.
Yeah, Dapperton got memed hard. We doxed the hell out of his kid.
Like, what?
Oh, dude. I miss the good old days of memes, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even microwave anywhere anymore. Social justice warriors, honestly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's dive back into this.
Which took place from May to early August of that year. And because I don't know how many of you can relate, but I'm someone who prefers to think of themselves as being somewhat invulnerable, or at least views vulnerability personally as a trait. I want to publicly exert as little as humanly possible and can't present the information which I'm about to present or convey what messages I want to get off my chest without expressing a position of vulnerability. But I have to make this because I've read a lot of comments from both my viewers and Dapperton's viewers because we never actually addressed publicly what happened as a result of the little spat we had, or what the full context of the conflict even was from a non-biased perspective. There are a lot of people who watch my content and people who watched Dapperton's content before he became Cinema Scum, who refuse to watch the other party's content and have a negative perspective of the other party in the dispute.
I wonder why.
Though we were not the only parties
Wait,
involved,
pause.
It actually pretty much split the...
Why do you think there's people who don't want to watch each other's videos? Maybe because you spent like 8 months going after each other and accusing each other of being pedophiles and shit.
I think the Tales Vol might have
and
put
doxing
a few
and
people off of Midnight.
I mean, they accused Dapperton of being a pedophile defender. They they were like doxing his kid, digging up his court records, and like misrepresenting them, giving out like names and addresses of like his family members who like uncles, dad. It's like baby mama, like all that stuff. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I can't imagine why people don't want to watch your videos anymore, SO. I can't fucking imagine.
But then, of course, Cacti doxes his lamb post, and Jim, it's all
It's all my fault. Yeah, anytime anyone does Dapperton makes a tweet, whose fault is it? Well, it's clearly mine. Okay. Moving along.
Dude, I love it so much, dude. It's the comedy of the situation, dude. The funny thing is, as well, right? He acts as if like Cacti like just told everyone everything. Like he like all anyone knows is that you have 420 on your lamppost. Like, get over yourself.
Moving along.
Anything about that, Jim? Because that's Do you want to decry the?
What do you mean? Like about what? Look, all you have to do. It's real simple. If just look up the video where Esso is saying that I doxed his family, and just read Mr. Dapperton's comment on there. It explains exactly what happened, like in full detail. The idea that I put any information out there, information that I never had, that I put any information out there is like bogus. There's no evidence for that. The only evidence that he shows is Cacti sending him a DM. It's like DMs are private; they're not posted publicly. And he also says like he's bragged about how he hasn't had a Facebook in years, but for some reason he magically got one, and I was sharing that around. What? Like,
dude,
citation
my favorite
needed
thing about that entire thing was because you know. But if anyone doesn't know, he had a cringy Facebook. He posted a cringy article. Jim was around at that point.
Yeah, because he used to link his Facebook account and his Facebook, and so yeah, he had a Facebook page rather. He used to link to his Facebook page, and on his Facebook page was like every one of his videos. Anytime he released a video, he put it on his page, and there would be like 34 shares, and I was like, like at the time, like his videos were probably getting like 200-300 views. Like, who the fuck is sharing it 34 times and it's only getting 200 views? What's up? So I clicked it, and there's only one person sharing it, but he's sharing it over and over and over again on his page and in other groups and stuff. So I was like, oh, who is this person? And I clicked it, and one of the first things on his page was like, this is me at a protesting, the gays having a protest or something. And I was like, okay, whatever. Prom is a quiet person. There's nothing I can do about that. I can crank him up. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
let's move along.
He tried to deny that it was him. Cacti, lamppost, fucking hunter. Dude, he can speak to the lamppost. He's a scary man. He finds his lamppost, and he's like, no, he's like, why did you dox me? And it's like, well, that is you, isn't it? You lying little shit. Anyway,
moving along. We're gonna
with the video.
We'll end up spending like another 8 hours
until the bitter end, but more so because the subject of this video has been engaging in what I can only describe as targeted harassment and obsessive stalkerish behavior since I've opened up my YouTube channel and started creating political content. Now, I've addressed this individual's behavior in the past, particularly on my channel entitled Esso Posting, which I rarely ever do anything on as of right now, as you may be able to put together based on the fact that the account icon is my old avatar set in front of an ANCAP flag, but never in a comprehensive and complete manner with all of his actions contextualized and cohesively put together. Yeah. Or with my side of the story accurately explained or described. Why I feel I have to make this is as a result of this individual's behaviors, particularly recent ones. It's gotten to the point where I can't ignore this anymore. I've actually begun losing sleep at night over this, which
is he having auditory hallucinations again?
Significantly as a self-employed agorist. And this coupled with some of the absolutely disgusting and reprehensible things this person has been doing, particularly saying about me and why he's saying it, this is beginning to actually take a toll on my mental state. I'm finding it increasingly difficult to socialize in my personal life. I'm beginning to develop serious self-esteem issues, which, by the way, is a big part of the reason why over the last few months the content I've been uploading is becoming less frequent, and I feel pretty sure that I'm going to end up developing some sort of anxiety disorder unless I finally put my foot down and do...
Didn't he say that he had anxiety before?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you going to develop something he already has for you?
Yeah. What? I mean, he was having auditory hallucinations after he doxed Dapperton. That was one of the things that was... Yeah. If you go to his channel and look up the video about Dapperton, like, he talks about having... He was so stressed out, he was having auditory hallucinations.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I was
But I'm crazy, by the way.
I actually, if everyone remembers, stepped in his defense a little bit. Like, oh yeah, he might not genuinely be, like, schizophrenic, guys. Like, I guess if he's really under... that much stress that could be happening, but he reminds me, his like way he views you reminds me of all those like YouTubers who are on about their art teachers who like hate them even though all they're doing is just, hey, could you just do the assignment properly? And they're like, you just hate me because I draw anime. It's like your art teacher probably doesn't care that you draw anime. They just like it to not be shit.
Exactly.
But anime is shit. Anyways, go ahead.
Something about this motherfucker. And I figured that out of my options, which were to expose all of this, file a defamation suit / restraining order, or travel down to his house personally with a bat and spend 5 minutes alone with him, I figured that...
Oh my god, it's amazing!
Oh god.
Oh, dude.
I fucking almost fainted.
Careful, you might get some auditory hallucinations.
Oh god. Oh. Oh. Come at me, bro. Whatever you got.
Dude,
Let's go.
Dude, I love this. I love this video, dude.
Oh my god.
This was the most productive course of action.
Can
I could
someone
take
save this?
because this is the least costly,
We
and
need
it directly creates
we-
a counter and rebuttal to the things he is saying, so that some of these lines can be corrected. And most importantly, people know to avoid the person who I'm talking about, and that what they're saying about me is absolutely not true.
Ignore
So
Wait, hold on,
first,
hold
let's
on.
address
Pause
the
that for a
initial
second.
point.
I have a feeling that's going to be important later. He wants everyone to avoid me. Mark that down. That's going to be relevant later on. Carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, he doesn't want anyone to, be taken by your lies and screenshots.
All right, I saved a copy. Moving along.
Point, because I have little, if anything, to say here, and I want to move on quickly. What happened between Dapperton and I, and why did our feud become so bitter so quickly? Well, in around May of 2018, a user by the name of Blue, better known as Operation Blueism, joined my Discord server, whom at the time I had no idea who he was, his history with manufacturing e-drama and manipulating people within anarchist circles to fight against each other. And while I and a few other people were talking in voice chat one night, I want to say it was around the 18th of that month, Blue joined the voice chat and claimed that he had evidence of various Marxist Discord servers spreading doxes and organizing false flag raids targeting certain online content, along with expressing an interest in the bigger voluntarist YouTube channels, helping him spread the content around so that it could be seen by as many people as possible. So,
Okay, hold on. So he's like, I didn't know. I just didn't know, apart from, that's totally
Well,
honest.
At this point, no one's told him because he hasn't been a complete retard and gone telling everyone,
Sure.
"Oh, I'm gonna do this."
Like the next day, dude.
Yeah,
like,
literally as
this
soon as this
influx of-
gets published.
Yeah, and the reason we know that even if he's like, no one told me. Like, no, Torma told you. Sorry, Torma, he got a shout out here. But no, dude, no, you were told, dude.
By everyone and anyone.
Everyone in the dog, dude. Okay, that's
long story short, a few people were interested, myself included, because his proposed reasoning for wanting us to get involved seemed to check out, being that he didn't like Marxists and wanted to expose them as badly as we did if they were engaging in this behavior, and that if it weren't true, Blue would look just as bad as we would. And on top of this, his initial claim actually proved to be true, and a collection of several thousand screenshots along with hours of video was released.
No, I'm gonna post a link. You know what's funny is like he swears that these people like don't want any of this to be seen, but there was like two people. It was Batco and someone else had uploaded like a 3-hour long video where they went through every single screenshot and was like, "What? This is no." This is just someone saying, "What the fuck? I love Hitler now," or something like, like those kind of jokes and stuff. And they were like, "Aha, see." And then one of them was actually literally the copy pasta. The listen here, bud. There's a difference between pedophilia and ebophilia. It was like the copy pasta, verbatim. And they're like, "Haha, see, this is them being pedophiles." It's like, no, they're making fun of pedophiles.
It's literally a shit post.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'll find that link and go ahead. and posted it in there.
On Bluism's blog, which I now unfortunately believe is defunct, and the only evidence which exists at this point in time is documented on a small YouTube channel known as Journey LT. In fact, the people we exposed created a browser extension which works as a bot that circles through a bunch of videos that would have been considered problematic to Marxist social justice advocates and automatically flagged them. Filthy Heretic and Dapperton had a few back and forths on Twitter because Filthy had approached him hoping that Dapperton would be interested in helping us spread the word of what we had found. Daps was initially interested until he learned that Blue was
there's a link
involved,
for that
in
video.
which case he told Filthy not to associate with Blue, and Dapperton had a good reason for not wanting to be involved with Blue, because Blue, previously under the name of Operation Anarchism among various other aliases which weren't definitively tied to him, had spread Dapperton's
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
were.
were.
Ninja
Yes, they were.
is his original. I can't.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like, everybody knew that it was him. And then we actually learned Journey knew the entire time and was like, no. Not only did he try to dox him, like, he was the original person who found Dapperton's dox and was passing it off to Anarchy Ball. Like, if it wasn't for Blue, Anarchy Ball wouldn't have doxed Dapperton. Moving along.
Good fun.
personal information and had a real-life contact to go to Dapperton's house and slash the tires on his car. Now, admittedly, I wasn't following their back and forth too closely because it really seemed to be a result of poor communication on both their parts from a superficial perspective, and because for some reason, despite me not being the only person involved in collecting this information, or even a significant figure in the team which did, I was never even in any of these Marxist Discord servers. I became the main target of attack which Marxists focused on, and I...
Well,
Because he was hyping it. He was like wow,
Yeah.
I've got this tea. Like, what does he expect?
he was the biggest YouTube channel that was spreading the stuff. That's why. Like he had, I think he had at the time he had like 2,500 subscribers, or maybe a little less. I don't remember, but he had the most. I mean, Filthy wasn't as big, and no one else. I mean, like at most, I think Blue had like 600 subscribers, and then he lost like 200 after the break.
Autism. You can't get mad at him. He is just a thing.
Yeah, and most of this stuff, he's also not giving the full backstory. Like, the reason why he was so eager to do all this stuff was because of the story of Boot. Have we talked about that?
I love Boot.
Yeah. So Boot is I don't know what is she trans or whatever, but she was
trans.
She was presenting herself as trans at the time. I don't know, and went on to his server named AnCapChick, and was like getting ooh and sending lewds in the chat, and
I'm telling him that he was 16. By the way, he's not.
Yeah.
But that's what he told me.
Oh, but 16 is well past the age of sexual consent or whatever. Anyways, according to SHO. What was it? Yeah, and they had a little falling out, and he threatened to leak her nudes. It's a Bonanza and Voltaire, Frederick Bastiat Voltaire, whatever, were like, that's screwed up. What are you doing? And he ended up deleting the message and like, no, we're not talking about it. If you mention it again, I'll ban you from the server. And they're like, no, we're going to talk about this right now. And so they both ended up getting banned, but they had screenshots and stuff.
I was in there at this time. I saw this going down.
Yeah.
I just didn't say anything because I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And also, Batco had a video about it, and he shows a bunch of screenshots of all that stuff happening. And then he was like, trying to like manufacture screenshots or something along those lines. I don't remember the details. You have to watch Batco's video to get the full details. But moving along, I guess.
Color correct screenshot.
Yeah, the color correcting of screenshots. That's not a thing.
So good, dude.
Where were we going with that? Oh yeah, that was the backstory behind all of this stuff, but he didn't mention it because it's very inconvenient to mention any of that stuff. But moving along.
Yeah.
Was preoccupied dealing with their nonsense. So it was at this point where Blue had openly begun starting to manipulate me along with the other people in this team, because for some reason which is still unclear to this day, Dapperton decided it was a good idea to create a staged series of screenshots with Democratic Socialist 01, where they discussed a trade of DS01 apparently paying Dapperton to make a video about the situation and attack us.
No. The reason was simple, because he was showing how gullible you are, and you were gullible.
Yeah.
And it's so easy, because it's so funny, because there's times where Dapperton are like, hey, they're talking shit on your server, and I'll be like, really? And he'll be like, yeah. Should we fuck with them? Yeah. And then he'll just say something, and then they'll be like, oh my god, Jim's evil. It's like, fucking retards. And there's no evidence for it. You just be like, oh, Jim manipulates me sometimes. All right.
I mean,
I
even
love it.
beside like figuring out how gullible he is, it should just show him how easy it is to fake shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take anything seriously, even if you're not that overly trusting.
Yeah. You have to take screenshots with a grain of truth, or a grain of salt, rather. Like, you really do. Like, there's some truth to them, but you can't be like, this is definitive proof. Like, because anything could be easily edited. But SO uses Paint, so anytime he does try to do things, it's just like, this is obviously bullshit, bro.
Hold on, Jim. I'm just gonna.
Anyways,
I'm
moving
gonna
on.
fix this for you. Gonna.
What is this?
I'm just making some. Just keep talking.
Oh, what do you want me to keep talking about? What am I talking about?
Whatever.
Okay.
Tell me about your love for Midnight Fan.
Ooh, woo. I'm secret furry. Ooh, woo, 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 woo.
Okay, Jim, I actually need.
By the way, I'm still
hope-
waiting to hear like what the recent things was. Like, I thought he would at least like put that. Well, here's why I'm making this video, because he made this tweet, or he uploaded this video, or you know, he's
general chat. You
Make
horrible,
fun of
horrible
my thing
person.
that I'm making.
Oh yeah. So yeah, here we are. This is definitive proof right here. Screenshots are always accurate. Don't believe any of it. Okay, carry on.
Okay.
While it turned out to be untrue that Dapperton was being paid by DSO1, these screenshots were
don't
still
fucking say.
real, and a real conversation
No,
was
they
happening.
weren't fake. They were
And
real.
when we'd picked up on it, we ran with the story, which was apparently supposed to be a gotcha, and attempts to sabotage the research we were doing by proving that our information was unreliable. But the thing is, that only heightened our suspicions of Dapperton at this point, because here he was openly collaborating with Marxists to
breakfast.
sabotage the research intended to expose them. Now, I don't think that Dapperton had any ill intentions here. I think he was trying to show us that Blue wasn't a trustworthy individual and was a manipulative person who would take anything presented to him and
you're
try
naive.
and spin it in a way which favored him regardless of whether or not it
And
was
you were
factually accurate.
naive.
But this unfortunately had the opposite effect. What Dapperton didn't know is that Blue had been trying to convince everyone that he was working with, following the interaction between Filthy and Dapperton, that Dapperton was not actually an anarchist, was starting to turn against libertarian ideals, and was trying to sabotage what we were doing because this project was going to be huge, and Dapperton wanted anarchists to become Republicans since he allegedly was a delegate of the Republican Party. It's
What? And you know what? Dapperton's point was true. You're fucking naive, and you believed every fucking word of it. And it's funny because he goes on about like how smart I am. I could use all the biggest words. I have the best words. Like, he has the best words, and then like, you know, all it takes is just like some fucking retard from New York to be like, "Hey guys, hello, check out what I found," and they're like, "Oh, I totally believe this."
Well,
Like, if he's
remember,
so smart, how come he's being manipulated by a fucking moron?
because he knows that he thinks he's so smart. Just like in my DMs with him, he was like, he refused to stop talking to me for like 20 minutes of just trying to insist to me he was smart. And I was like, I don't care that you're not smart.
No, he's not smart.
But like, I could keep him talking just because I would let him continue trying to convince me he was intelligent.
I never vote. You know what? I vote in every election, but I live in Nevada, and that's because we have this little option on every ballot that says none of the above. And so I go to the voting booth every election, and I vote none of the above down ballot. I live in Nevada. Hey, everyone.
Amazing.
I voted because my first voting year ability was 2016, and that was a lot of fun. I won't do it again, though. It wasn't worth it, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Anyways, moving along. How far are we into this?
Stupid in hindsight, but in Dapperton's attempt to try and show us that Blue wasn't
a
trustworthy, he'd ended up actually making this narrative Blue was trying to construct more plausible by effectively helping Marxists do damage control and strengthen a counter-narrative to what was revealed. From my perspective, Blue had come through for us before. He had, again, what seemed to be sound reasoning for being suspicious of Dapperton, and he also had a shared incentive to help us out, so why would he stab us in the back now? Well, it turned out that his actual intentions from the very beginning were to associate with a few of the more prolific voluntarist content creators, knowing full well that Dapperton wouldn't respond kindly to people associating with Blue.
He went for the stupid one because you'd fall for it.
Because you were stupid.
Idiot.
He knew you were stupid, and he exploited you.
Oh my god.
That's how that works. Like, you manipulate people who are not smart as you. That's how that works.
Went for the more prolific. Then why didn't he go for Shane Killian? Why did he go for you?
Yeah. Why didn't he go for Shane Killian? Because Shane Killian's infinitely smarter than you.
Infinitely smarter and has 10 times the subcount.
Yeah, I make fun of Shane because Shane, like, he has like a short fuse, and he always does the lie thing, and and like he just loses his shit, and he's often wrong, but he's not stupid. I don't think he's a stupid. Yeah, he's not a stupid person.
He really likes to win arguments, and hurricanes have rights, don't. Anyways,
yeah.
And would result in him attacking Blue, which Blue would then use as proof that Dapperton wasn't actually an anarchist and create an internal civil war within the voluntarist community.
What?
And literally every step along the way outside of this was just him putting the pieces in place to create a narrative structure which could lead to the formation of a dichotomy of interests that ensured both parties would look at the other as threats to them and their goals.
Wait, hold on. Stop for a second. A dichotomy of interests.
I understand how dumb that is, but I also want to point out
all that's saying is, like, there's two different opinions. Or two people have interests that are different.
The video so far has been, hey guys, don't forget about
By the
what
way,
happened a couple of years ago.
Dapperton didn't start that fucking feud. They came to him and was like, hey, we have, like, we're working with this guy named Blue. And they're like, bro, if you work with Blue, the guy who tried to dox me, I'm not going to hang out with you because that guy is crazy and I don't want to mess with him. He already had my car keyed and my tire slashed and doxed me and tried to dox me. Like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. And if you're going to hang out with him, I can't hang out with you. He's not asking. He's just saying, like, be smart about this. Yeah. And then he was like, all right, you're going to work with them? Fine. I'm going to make a video talking about who this Blue character is and how terrible he is. And then you guys went after him and started accusing him of being a pedophile defender. That's not him starting a fight.
What are you talking about, Jim? Midnight Fountain can't do anything wrong. Come on.
Well, like, also, if you look at it, it's like Dapperton's first video on it, while it could have been better, but that's hindsight and all. Like, if you had your friends and they were talking to effectively like an actual cult leader, right? And you were trying to convince them not to do it, and you're like, well, I have a platform, maybe I can peer pressure them out of it. Would you not do that?
Yeah. You know what? I do have my eye on the prize, man. I do. I mean, I just made a video about Facebook today and how evil they are. And then this comes out and it's like, what? The only person I insulted in that video, by the way, was Kurt Doolittle. I mean, and Zuckerberg.
Dude,
like, what the fuck?
Dude, shots fired has been a dead meme for like 4 years, dude. Why did you include that?
I fucking love that shit. It's never gonna die. It's never gonna die.
Stop. Okay.
This destructive cycle continued until eventually the point of no return was reached, where out of nowhere, Blue commented under one of Dapperton's videos the name of his significant other.
No, whoa.
Why I even...
Whoa! You did that too!
Yeah. No, it wasn't just Blue, it was you, filthy.
Yeah.
It was the whole deadbeat dad thing.
It was like, why haven't... it was your account, and if I remember correctly, what you said was, why haven't you paid your child support to name redacted?
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
But the name really wasn't redacted. I'm redacting it here because...
Yeah.
Okay, moving along.
Better you than me.
And then they started linking it.
Yeah.
Went
And then
along
and
with
he
this in
uploaded
the-
a video with all the information and the description.
And then Shane Killian had to be like, that's not even what it says. Can you read?
Yeah, and this is also considered doxing. So, +1 for Shane, for sure.
Oh, Shane. Oh, Shane. Oh, Shane.
First place is because, frankly, by this point, I'd just kind of given up trying to make sense of what was going on, and I was simply working with Blue because of the sunk cost fallacy. I'd felt that I'd already sacrificed a lot
Bro, he's so smart. He's going to explain to us what fucking sunk cost is.
Great.
in working with Blue, and from my perspective, there was no going back from that, so I sort of just went with whatever he did and hoped that everything just kind of worked out in the end.
Yeah, let's
Pretty
just go
sure
with
by
accusing
this
people of
point
being
I didn't even
pedophiles.
really have a cohesive idea of what my interests were anymore, other than stop Dapperton. So I made a video running apologetics for Blue and doubling down for him, which would prove to be the limit, with a response so negative that even I had become disaffected from Blue as a result, because I realized right there that I'd screwed up. Up until this point, my videos for the last month or so
Stop
were
Daps.
nothing but spiteful attacks against Dapperton, based on weak reasoning that was largely formulated by a lack of thought put into the arguments I was making, and just wanting to make a quick response to something new which Dapperton had said.
By the way, this video is about me and how terrible I am.
I know.
What?
Yeah, comment on it, because at the time this was kind of a spooky thing, because we were the admins of the DAP chat. You know, we held it together, and suddenly we were at war, and I was like, "Oh fuck, okay, what do we do now?" Anyway, things were actually not going well for Dapper at the beginning, as much as he'd like to flout his flawless victory. Things were pretty much... Midnight was winning about, like 3-2. It was pretty bad.
He basically just had us. It was
Yeah,
the admin team and
so basically,
a few people on the server.
the amount of people who were being told this is bullshit was the amount of people who were entering the server until a miracle happened. Jim, you know what the miracle is.
Yeah, I was
Midnight
like, you know
Phantom.
what? Oh, sorry. Midnight Phantom?
Midnight Phantom and Jim Jesus, but Midnight
Got a
Phantom.
shining bald baby and a furry blessing.
Oh, dude. May the Church of Midnight Phantom bless him forever, dude.
Yeah, like I was like, me and Dapperton were, I wouldn't say that we were like enemies. Like we had a couple Twitter spats. Like, and I've mentioned here and there that I'm not a big fan of his content. And I still, to an extent, am not. And he knows this and he's fine with that. That's fine.
He
Like
should take it more
it's
personally.
no. It's great. He's a cool guy, and I like hanging out with him, and I like talking. Well, I don't hang out with him soon. He doesn't live that far, but I mean, like, I talk to him or whatever, and whatever. That's it. Like, and he'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, like, what do you think of this movie?" And I'm like, "Oh, that movie sucks," or "This movie's great." And have you seen this one? Like, he just recommended him watch Pi. By the way, watch that movie. That movie's great. It's fantastic. But and then every once in a while it'll be like, Jim is brainwashing Dapperton. It's like, yeah, I'm brainwashing you. Like, you really should like Pi. Pi is a great film. Watch Pi. Watch Pi. It's a great movie. Watch Pi.
Oh, no. What?
Really, there was a single comment under that video which I think was the point which I can trace back to and say caused me to come back to my senses, which I'm paraphrasing because that video is long
you don't have
gone and I
senses.
don't remember who said it, but it was something along the lines of, "I can't believe I actually used to like your content," which actually genuinely fucking tugged at my heartstrings, and for like a week caused me to fall into a bit of an existential crisis. Now, this isn't to try and excuse my actions.
I left
here.
a comment on
In fact,
someone's channel and I had an
genuinely felt
existential
and still do feel so bad about doing this that outside of the
Imagine
second
being this
main
person.
subject of this video, my guilt over doing this to Dapperton, the man who inspired me to make the content I do today and who single-handedly helped me get to the position I'm in right now, I'd argue that this is partly the origin of my gradual debilitation over the last year, and I've tried to make up to Dapperton as much as possible. We talk regularly through Discord and direct
Did he
messages,
kind of
and
say
I
that he
believe
didn't feel
he's
guilty
forgiven me.
until he was
but
told his content wasn't good anymore?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
I genuinely
Imagine
doubt
being this
that I'll
person.
ever forgive myself, and the memory of doing this is probably going to haunt me until the day that I die.
You shouldn't forgive yourself for doing that. Like, no. You also shouldn't forgive yourself for doxing your aunt/cousin on DeviantArt. Like, no, at midnight, you have a history of doing this. You shouldn't. You're a shit person. Accept that and move on in whatever capacity you can, but don't suddenly think you're a good person just because it happened a long time ago.
I'm an asshole, and like I don't sit there and be like, oh, you know, I should be more nice to people. I was like, no, I'm just an asshole. I just deal with it and let people enjoy it if they like it, and if they don't, whatever.
And 3 people that watch your show really do like it.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, we're at
you're
6
2 of them, so.
Dude, 12 viewers, what?
I mean, 6 people
But the
haven't
impression
rated.
a lot of people seem to have taken away and
We
run
have 2
with,
dislikes.
particularly the individual who is the main subject of this video, is that this was the result of a character defect of mine, and that I just love drama and I'm a...
You love doxing people, apparently.
Yeah.
Midnight. Like,
I mean, you got a channel dedicated to drama, so don't act like you're above this either, buddy.
That would be like me acting like I'm
spiteful,
above drama.
vitriolic person. Well, firstly, I try to avoid getting involved in conflicts as much as I possibly can because I...
just take a moment to take that line in.
X. I'm pressing X.
He
to doubt.
literally, right? He was just explaining was that he was getting on board with a mission to expose some commies. And he said,
And-
I try to avoid drama as much as I can.
And his whole reason was just that he felt he was too far in to do the right thing.
That's not. Imagine that. Like, oh well, you know, I've already killed one person and 2 people found out. I might as well just keep killing because I'm already in too deep.
I
Now
read a
it's like,
manga
no,
where that was
that's
the
when you
plot.
gotta go. Oh shit, I did something awful and terrible. I better like own up to this.
Dude, I just don't.
view them as being productive for either side of the disagreement. They usually just end poorly for everyone involved, and there really aren't ever any winners. They're just people who walk away with fewer scratches. But I'm sure this is going to be very difficult to try and contextualize, to put yourself into my headspace, but I was genuinely convinced that what I was doing and what the people I was associating with were doing was well-intentioned. That doesn't excuse what I did, but I'm not this scummy monster of a person who...
It doesn't excuse what I did, but I'm gonna make excuses for about 40 minutes here, just talking about how I...
In what world is what he did with the Deadbeat Dad campaign well-intentioned? How is that...
Did he even mention this? He didn't even mention it.
He skimmed over it. He said Blue did it.
But
No,
like,
no,
in
no, no,
what-
no. But he did it.
He did
Yeah.
it.
He did it too. He did it too.
Him and Filthy. And I think one of them had like almost instant remorse because I remember they removed their like comment pretty quickly.
Pretty sure that was Filthy.
Was that Filthy? I don't remember which one of them, but I remember there was like a hail of comments and then one of the 2 big boys removed theirs pretty quickly.
I think it was Filthy.
Or maybe Dapperton deleted it because you're like, hey, your
That's
name. Yeah.
That's possible actually.
Yeah.
I just know it disappeared.
I'm sure I remember being able to see the midnight one for longer though.
Yeah.
I kept checking to see if he still posted that just for the fucking
Yeah, I
comedy.
was shocked when I saw that. I actually saw the comment on the video and I was like, "Oh my god!" Screen cap.
I was like, this has gone to such an extreme degree that it just becomes.
Like we were just showing pictures of your old cringy deviant art, like
Yeah, and then
You have
that's
three-
what it really bumped up to
you
the
have
next
three-
level. Like, dude, this is getting way out of hand.
Jim,
Yeah.
Jim, you have 3 dislikes. I think I think we might be being watched, dude. But don't
That's
quote.
fine.
Well,
Dude, by the way,
to
no
some
one should be
standards,
liking.
That's a raid.
No one should be liking the stream. The stream should be getting nothing but downvotes. If you're watching this and you upvoted it, shame on you. You should be downvoting it right now.
Shame.
I
Shame.
upvoted because I'm in here and I like me. So
I also.
Well, you're just voting for
Monero.
yourself.
Exactly.
Everybody should down thumb this video because we're basically watching an ESO video.
yeah, but
No.
ESO video with 3 people I like. Like,
Oh, by the way, this will get hit. Like, this will get hit. He's gonna share it around and like everybody dislike this. And then when anybody says like, "Oh, why did you mass down thumb this?" He'd be like, "Oh, I didn't. Someone else in the server said it to do it, even though it was in my server, and I could tell them like, don't do that."
oh, like when he was asked, "Oh, can I have the link to the Dapper server so we can raid it?" And then he just gives it to them. Well, I didn't ask anyone to raid anything. I wasn't trying to. It's like that's what he asked for it for.
Yeah.
He does those things.
Yeah, like
Just
if
waits for
anybody in
opportunities
my
to
chat, like if anybody in my server started saying like everybody down thumb this video, like I will I will mute them from the server or kick them from the server and say like you can come back later, but this is not a server for that. In fact, like even all of the chat rooms that talk about a specific person, I don't allow chat in. If you go in there and start chatting or having discussions about it, like I will delete them and warn you. And if you keep doing it, I'll ban you. Because this is just like an archival thread. What is it?
Ooh,
Please
I'm screenshotting that. Prom.
Doesn't he have an inflation and vor fetish? Oh, we'll probably get into that.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, whoa. We'll probably get into
people over for some petty, short-lived self-gain, and I know Dapperton isn't either. I'd argue that the person who's the main subject of the video here is, and then some, but I'd suppose this is a good way to transition into that subject. Now,
Wait,
the
timestamp
reason
for the
that
transition.
happened to be included as a section of this particular video about this particular person is firstly, it sets a few
15
running
minutes.
themes with the problems about what he says. For example, he likes to take things I've said or other people have said and done and construct these weird contextualizations of what I've done or what they've done, which doesn't logically follow from anything I or them have said, and actually subtly creates an unfalsifiable argument.
What? What?
Does he even know what unfalsifiable means?
Excuse me? Yes, Jimmy Abbott. We got a Jimmy happened. 10 dislikes. It's happening.
Oh, it's happening? Okay.
It's happening.
Oh,
Well,
I just told everybody to dislike the video,
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's true. Ah, dude. I thought it was.
If it hits
happening
like
for a second,
22,
dude.
we know there's something.
Ah, dude. I want it so bad, dude.
Anyways, yeah.
Dude. 3, 2.
This is why if you've ever spoken to this person about me or seen what he says about me compared to my actual actions or interacting with me directly, you basically are talking to or about two entirely different people. He does this all while laughably trying to suggest that any attempt to contextualize the things he's saying has to come from the screenshots or framework which he's arbitrarily constructed. So his version of
Well,
ESO
wait,
is
hold on, rewind that. Unnecessary
I don't think I
verbosity
can,
here
but,
again.
No, it's so unnecessary, but wait.
What did he say for people who don't have a doctorates in fucking English?
So I'll distill it for you.
Okay. Because remember, I don't understand anything he says because I'm a big dummy head.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
you always
seems
have
to
to
me all he
context
said was, "I'm taking him out of context." I think that's all he said.
It's less than that. It's Jim creates a narrative from what I literally said and the screenshot of what I did instead of what I want to tell people I did.
Oh, okay.
Which is obviously a crime, Jim.
But I think the translation of what he was saying was, "I take him out of context." He could have just said that and saved 30 seconds off of his video because this video is like 30 minutes.
Oh, dude, it's 40 minutes long.
And
You
like,
have to consider the potentiality of the internet viewers' ability to fully understand without.
this reminds me of that Don Perdeau video where he's going off on like a bunch of $5 words, but the only thing he said is use shorter words so people understand you.
I just feel like that one scene where it's just like raw, but
Roads. Ruads.
Yeah, roads.
Oh my god, I'm high. So are you.
And completely disassociated from observable reality. Secondly, it is largely the point of origin which can be tracked back to where this particular person became significant enough to catch my attention, because practically since I began making political videos on YouTube, when I was interested in anarchism but still had much to learn about it and was largely just experimenting with styles along with trying to learn more about it, this individual was commenting under pretty much every video I made and was spamming his social media timeline with attacks against my character. And
no, that's not true. That's not true. No. What I didn't comment on most of his videos. The vast majority, early when he first started, I did not comment on most of his videos. What happened was, I was looking at the time for like a bunch of new libertarian stuff because it's like my feed was drying up. All of the old libertarians have faded away, like to Sauce, Exomniverse, and all those people. And LinkedIn Arthur was probably the only person still making videos from the old guard. Junior Bacon Chi and all them. And I was like, I need more people. And I don't want to follow Molyneux or Kokesh because they're fucking asshats. And I was like, okay, so who else is there? And I just started looking for libertarians and stuff. And I found him, and I found a whole bunch of other people. And I just subscribed to them. And I was like, if they start, producing garbage or whatever, I'm just going to leave. And he started making some videos. And I was like, okay, I'm not really interested in that one. Not really interested in that one. But this could be interesting maybe later. And then he did a debate with, and I watched a couple, and I was like, this is weird, but made a couple mistakes, but whatever, ignored. And then he did a debate with Pierre. Trudank Pierre, what was his name? I think his name is Pierre Trudank. And like he started saying things like the Diamond Lake paradox proves that value isn't determined by wages, it's determined by praxeology. And I was like, what? And then Eastern Marxists in that video had said, so I was just kind of like confused, like, what the fuck is this guy stupid? And so like, I kept listening, and then Eastern Marxists, who's since left the internet, he said that that it's a false claim. He said that that the idea that people can fluctuate up and down different income brackets is completely false. It's like, well, not completely false. It's mostly false. Like, sure, there's a couple people who make it rich, but 99.99999% of the time, it's not true. So it's statistically insignificant. And he was like, what are you talking about? People become rich. And he cited a couple examples. And he was like, no. I know that, but it's like rare. And he kept going on like the straw man saying, like, what do you mean it never happens? It never happens. And they just kept getting hung up on it for like 10 minutes. And so I commented, I said, like, no, you're taking him out of context. Like, he's wrong by saying that, like, people don't move up the income brackets. They obviously do. And your source proves it. But that's not what he was saying. Like, what he was saying was it's statistically insignificant. And so he started deleting my comments and he started deleting some of the comments that I was leaving and then responding to them as if I was making the argument that people don't move up the income brackets and I'm a stupid Marxist. And I'm like, so anybody who's going in and seeing that thread, all they would see was me saying, or him responding to me and saying that I'm a Marxist. And I think that people don't move up the income bracket, which I never believed, ever. Even when I was on the left, I never believed like that was true. So it was just like, this guy is a dishonest piece of shit. And then he was trying to lie about deleting my comments. And then I posted on Twitter and was like, look, here's him deleting my comments. And it was like, oh no, I'm deleting it because you're using circular reasoning, and just listed off a bunch of logical fallacies. And I was like, you're a dishonest piece of shit. And then I pretty much left it at that for the most part. And then other people started coming up to me and be like, dude, he's fucking done shit to me like that. Here's what he's done. And I was like, all right, I'll fucking, if he does more stupid shit, I'll call him out. But anyways, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Dude, midnight is...
Did he? I need to see this.
What happened?
Someone said that Nassim Taleb owned Molyneux over Race and IQ. It should be interesting. I've been on the fence about Race and IQ for a while, but that's a completely different thing.
That's Quan.
Oh, that's Juan?
Juan, yeah,
No,
that's
you need to go ask Juan. Dude.
Oh,
that's
Juan.
his subject.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm not a
He
scientist,
is-
I don't know. And it seems like some of it's legitimate. I just don't think you can infer anything. I don't think, therefore,
Juan.
ethnostate is wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Anyways,
No, I actually need to make a comment on that. I think that it has no binding whatsoever. Tabula rasa totally wasn't, proven wrong about like 200 years ago. British government, please don't arrest me. Okay.
anyways, moving along.
This supposed problems I had with my videos. I mainly just ignored him because I found his arguments to be nonsensical, and because at the time he really didn't have a large enough platform to influence how people saw me, despite how ridiculous I found his statements to be. I didn't want to address him because I felt like it would have been punching down, which would have only really given him
I had more
attention.
subscribers
And
back
indeed,
then.
if you go back through his
wait. I had more subscribers back then. And by the way, like, this was also about the time that I was moving away from YouTube and was focusing solely on podcasts, because I was doing nationally syndicated talk radio at the time.
Was
then that's how-
listens to Vaporwave not bringing in enough views for it.
Most of my audience is listen to my podcast, which I've been neglecting lately. But most of my audience listens to my podcast. They're not interested in my YouTube stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's interested in YouTube stuff, but let's move on.
Hey, that's
Not me,
me.
bro.
Don't bully Jim on his own platform. It's not acceptable.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Yeah.
Twitter feed starting from
Thanks,
around
Mom.
early 2017 to this day. This is one of the main themes which most of his posts share. Me, perceived problems with my character, misrepresentations of things I've said or done, and just generally obsessing over me. Of
I like
course,
when
it's
he slows
gradually
down 'cause
gotten
he's
worse
tripping over
over
his
time,
script.
which has led me to make this video. The
Wait,
person
wait,
that I'm
wait,
talking
wait, what do
about
you mean-
today is
Hold on.
used.
What do you mean worse over time? I haven't mentioned him in forever. What's going on?
We keep trying to get you to mention him because, honestly, the whole, don't respond to me, I'll ignore you thing doesn't work. It just means that his crowd will believe.
Yeah, go look at my Twitter.
Yeah, dude. I agree.
Yeah, I've had to convince so many different people that you're not actually like a terrible person, and after like a bit, it gets gets through to them. Because I only hang out with decent-ish people at least. But yeah.
Well, you've been
if you don't
doing
believe me,
good.
look, it's free. Twitter is free. You can go on there and look at all the things I ever said. You can check every day. And if you see me fucking talking about ESO every day, then you can be like, Jim, aha, caught you. You were in a lie.
Yeah,
But I
you
don't.
just been playing Mario Maker.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately.
That's just,
I haven't talked about Midnight Phantom in so long, dude. That it's
Oh, I love shitting on him. Whenever the subject comes up, I'm not even going to try to lie. I'm the one who shit talks him still constantly because it's
that's true.
hilarious to me.
no, dude, my current one is just whenever Shaman comes up, I just love to. I just love to. It's just
Oh no, problem. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't. I need to
Anyways.
get a tee up. I mean, anyhow.
Anyways, moving on.
User by the name of
Well,
Jim Jesus.
I got
And
your
during
Jim
this
Jesus.
conflict between Dapperton and Blue, along with the group that Blue had organized, Jim had managed to catch the attention of Dapperton because, of course, with Jim's obsession over
Look at
me,
Jim.
he fit right in with the narratives Dapperton found to be in his interest at the time to promote. So
No,
But-
that's not any of that happened. What?
Yeah, go look at my videos. Like, there's barely any videos about ESO before the whole Civil War thing.
Even
When the
then,
Civil War
like,
thing, that's when I was like, oh, okay, so I guess they're having a Civil War. I better comment on this. Because it
I'm
was a
pretty
big
sure
thing.
You joined our server to see what the fuck was going on, and
Yeah.
you just started shit posting.
Yeah, I went in there because Dapperton started talking to me, and and we weren't fighting. So I was like,
Dude.
all right, maybe I should go in here and see what's going on and like get an idea of what's going on, because this is
We were
bizarre.
so caught up, dude, in like the anti-Jim Jesus shit before though. So like when we came into chat, we were ready for like a few fireworks, but like no, it was just good shit posts, and we're like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, let's go.
go.
Dapperton re-uploaded pretty much every video Jim made attacking me and what I was involved in, which unfortunately led to Jim gaining quite a bit of attention. I mean, he was getting 50 views per video before...
Hold on. What video did he upload of mine?
I genuinely don't.
He only, from what I remember, he only ever uploaded one quote-unquote video, and it wasn't a video. It was a podcast that I put on Patreon talking to someone who left the Sarbamba thing, Zorro, who was like, I need to blow the whistle on this stuff because what they're doing, like, could get me in trouble. So I have to, like, blow the whistle. Like, I don't want to be involved in this thing. And so he had a crisis of consciousness because he was the least stupid of the bunch and was like, I need to come out and fucking stand against this and make it clear that I'm not involved with this stuff anymore. And so he came on and was like, hey, let's like record something. And we were actually going to record something anyway with Larry because I used to do podcasts every day. And he was like, and I was like, all right, do you want to just record this? I'm like, sure. So we just recorded and we just had a conversation about it. And I uploaded it to Patreon. And I made it so it wasn't beyond the paywall so anyone can listen to it. And Dapperton was like, this is so fucking insane. I have to mirror this. And I was like, go ahead. I've never asked Dapperton to mirror a single one of my videos, and he'll verify this. He goes, I like this content. I want to re-upload it. And during that whole drama, he only ever uploaded that one video. I may be wrong. There may be one or two others, but he wasn't uploading every video.
Dude, he also uploaded Whiskey Review, which is totally, obviously, just not... You can't... Like,
no, that was his best video. Rest in peace.
Honestly, it is Dapperton's best video today, and he should put it back up right now if he's not a... Okay.
Yeah, I don't ask Dapperton to upload things. He asks me if he can mirror stuff or the recording in progress stuff. That's Larry's show. That's not my show. I just do the back end stuff, and add some jokes. That's his project, but I like working on it.
I'll ask Dapperton live on air, dude.
But he was like, I want to have some live content on my thing. Do you want to have a recording in progress on there? And I was like, I'm cool with it, but that's a question you need to ask Larry. So, yeah.
Okay.
150 to 200 per video, which to this day he still has Dapperton convinced that he's a friend and likes associating with him, despite the fact that in numerous videos that he openly dislikes Dapperton because according to him Dapperton is stupid. Jim also has a little click.
Citation needed.
What?
No, I made it clear, and I even said it in this stream. Like, I like Dapperton. He's a cool guy. I'm not a big fan of his content. Like, I thought I was the one taking people out of context here, but apparently not.
I'll even level with Midnight that Dapperton can go a little dumb sometimes, but it doesn't mean...
Dapperton is like your friend who's not an actual moron, but sometimes needs your advice before he goes off on an impulse.
No, I don't think he's a stupid person.
Yeah. But like everyone, he needs someone to like put him a check every now and then. Like, don't do that. He's
like 60, dude. He's going senile.
Shut up.
You're already dead.
No, please. If I mean, like I like how he like cites my whole channel. Okay, go find where I said that. Go listen to my podcast. I have he didn't even link the Lulberts, but if you look for the Lulberts, that's my podcast. Go find where I said it there too. Like, you're not going to find it.
With on Discord, which basically do anything that he says, which if you're in Dapperton's server right now, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Because anytime anyone in that server disputes with Jim, Promethium Oxide, Shiny, or Post, any one of them who wasn't in the conversation will magically, within about 15 to 20 seconds later, pop in and start dogpiling you so that you can't respond to what they're saying. And
he clearly doesn't have friends. Like,
but how is this all coming back to me? Because you guys are my friends, therefore you do what I say? If I remember correctly, I handed the keys over to the cult to you, Shiny.
I'm sorry. These people are difficult to work with. I can see why you gave it up.
Yeah. So basically, right, whenever an argument occurs, right, I argue and I at Toast because Toast likes to see retarded things. And I'm like, Toast, this is something dumb that's going on. And he's like, oh, well, I'm glad you informed me. And then maybe Toast comments on it, maybe he doesn't if he doesn't see it interesting. Like, dogpiling in this context is such a stupid word to use. It's like, this person made a stupid claim. I correct this stupid person. Like,
And Shiny likes to shit talk when someone's proven themselves to be a shit person.
it's that simple. Jim doesn't even jump in.
No, I've been too busy playing Mario Maker the last.
I collect all the screenshots.
Yeah, so when Mario Maker came out, I've been just basically checked out. That's if you notice that there was like a dearth of content on everything because I'm playing Mario Maker and Mario Odyssey. God,
Dapperton is my butt slave. Me and Tapperton's butt slave. Why do we have to pay him to ban people? Come on.
Dapperton's like my dad again, but we're on weird terms, but it's fine. Like, it's weird, but I broke up with my dad like last winter, didn't I? And now we're back together. That's weird. It's definitely a south.
It's a very southern relationship there, Shiny. Very southern.
Comment to everyone that I beat Dapperton in Counter-Strike, so I am obviously the superior YouTuber.
Wait, actually, this family tree is really weird. Jim's my boyfriend. Prom's my fiance. Jim is Dapperton's boyfriend, and also Dapperton is Prom's butt slave.
And your dad.
And my dad.
Yep. And you all live in my closet.
Exactly.
They all use the exact same sort of reasoning, the schizophrenic gaps between
closet.
points
But
within
you
their
call it
arguments which don't cohesively flow in any sort of...
oh,
Wait,
someone just subscribed.
He says this, right? He says this, right? And then he never criticizes his own content, which is shown to be false. He just defends it again or deletes the criticism. He's like, oh, well, they're obviously wrong because X, Y, Z.
Oh my gosh. That's like, remember when it was like, oh, we have evidence of you soliciting because you posted the screenshot, and he kept insisting, they are claiming this and it's baseless. And then it took me literally being like antagonistic in his DMs for him to finally explain that, oh, well, it wasn't me, it was Yellow. It's like he thought he had said this, but he'd never said this to anybody.
But then, of course, there's still the Agora one where he admits to editing it. And it's like, whoa, buddy, whoa.
And then when like Agora was calling him out for it for a while, and he was like, "What the fuck?" I meant deleting it. I mean, deleting it, even though we didn't have it on our hard drives. We deleted it. It's like, okay, whatever. And then Agora was just like, you know what? I'm just done with this drama. I'm walking away from this stuff. And then when he said that, he was like, "Yep, see, Agora said that I was right, and he misinterpreted me." It's like, and Agora's like, "Wait. I didn't say that.
I'm coming back.
Like, what are you talking about? I still think you did that. I just don't want to deal with your crap anymore."
Dude, I love Agora. Like, as much shit as everyone there side talks about Agora, dude, I'm still ready for Agora to make a fishing channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to make a YouTube channel. That's what he was telling me. So,
dude, he's taking forever, and I try
I
to
don't
see
care
him.
if
Speaking of taking forever,
I want the fish.
Okay, I'll get back on with
logical manner, the attempts to invoke unrelated subjects which have nothing to do with the debate in question and bullshitting a reason as to why there's supposedly a connection. Well, two of these people, Shiny and Promethium Oxide, who were on Dapperton's old Discord server and notably mass banned every single person on there because Shiny and I had a dispute in Shane Killian's Discord server the day before.
So you had nothing to do with that at all. You weren't even involved in our... What? Did anyone even mention ESO during that?
No. The reason was
unwarranted self-importance.
This was you guys. I was like completely hammered that night.
Don't try it out.
No, Jim was drunk. He was so fucking drunk. He was not involved. We told him to go away. He was just like, I'm here. I'm gonna get blamed anyways.
So it was New Year's. I was like, I'm getting wasted. It's New Year's. And then I was like, what the fuck is happening on my computer right now?
Jim joined, and we were all in war mode while he was in party mode. But it was like, no, Jim, we've had enough of Shane Killian talking shit about you. We're going to war.
Yeah, I was there for that, and Jim just stumbled in. He was just pissed drunk. He really had no idea what was going on.
But it's very clear to you, ESO. Like, the problem is with Shane making these claims about Jim is that people believe Shane because he does have some credibility to people. the amount of credibility you have to anyone who isn't actually like a furry is none. Nobody believes things you say. So like you talking shit about Jim doesn't really mean much but a giggle to us.
It's funny.
It's hilarious. We
When
know no
Jim
one who matters is going to care.
Yeah. Like he was saying that I was accusing him of being a pedophile, and I was like, I've never said Shane was a pedophile. Never.
Yeah, that shit is a problem.
Yeah. I know True Till Tom has said True Till Tom had said that he made a video that was stupid about was it pedophilia and child porn, and that was really like dangerous for him to say stuff like that. And I agreed with him, but I at the time I had not said anything about it. I was just like, I agree, but I'm not going to jump into that fucking dumpster fire. But he never called him a pedophile. I never called him a pedophile. Like it was just shit he made up, and it was after we agreed to like not talk about each other and fucking just mute, just not say anything about each other. And I was like, okay, cool. I took down videos on my channel and was like, I'm gonna private them, like no one can see them, whatever. If he starts this up again, I'm gonna put him back up. And then he started going. And then like 1 week later, he was doing that, and I was like, all right, they're going back up.
And he basically called your bluff about the videos, like, and he's only even doing that because it was like, are you serious? Like, it's a gesture of good faith, whether you want to take it or not.
By the way, it wasn't me that was trying to like get on good terms or anything with them. I really just didn't care, and I didn't think about Shane. Like, I was just like, whatever. But Dapperton was so upset that Shane and I did not get along that he wanted to like try to bridge us together. And I was like, all right, that's what you want. I don't think it's gonna work, but go ahead.
But yeah, no.
That lasted a week.
My comment on the Shane Killian problem is
because I told everyone to dislike my video. Dislike this video, please.
But yeah, Shane's got like a mix of personality, which is really just weird. Like he's a very smart guy, and you can tell that. But at the same time, he's like, if he even comes close to like losing an argument or anything, he'll revert to extreme dirty tactics, like in the abortion debate, hurricanes are right.
That's a different subject. Let's not get into Shane, please.
But no, the difference is, again, just to quickly summarize, the reason it had nothing to do with you is because we don't expect better from you. We expect that Shane can and should do better, and so we want to hold him to a standard. No one holds you to standards.
Yeah, because Shane's not retarded.
Than that. Yeah, exactly. It's even more simple than that. It's that Shane's intelligent, Midnight isn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's simple.
I have disagreements with Shane, but I would not say he's a stupid person.
The thing is, you can have disagreements with Shane Killian.
I'm sure you can find. I'm sure you can find quotes of me saying that he's stupid, and that's only because I'm just like you're saying that.
Salty sailor.
Yeah, it's because of salty sailor stuff.
And I still stand by that Shane should stop making dumb claims about Jim. I will fight that again on Counter-Strike if.
Mind you, I haven't seen him say anything about Jim recently, so I'm very pleased. I think everything worked out. I'm happy. I mean, I'm not happy the server's gone, but hey, it got the comments to stop.
And of course, at the time, Dapperton shat the bed, which he agrees with now. He agrees. He has admitted to after my resounding victory on Counter-Strike. I destroyed this man. I didn't actually.
Press F in the chat for Dapperton.
I think we could have been more patient with Dapperton at the time, but at the end of the day, everything turned out fine. So it is what it is.
We could have been a bit nicer, but at the same time,
I wish we had been more patient. If I have to think about it personally,
war or dark. Captain Strangiato just put F in the chat, so he is now my best friend. What a hero.
Yep.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, so but yeah, no, that's how that went down. So Midnight.
Dapperton even said F.
All right. Yes. Look at this, dude. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna continue, but this is just Midnight's twisting this whole thing to be about him when no, it was about shit. And Jim
had nothing to do with SO.
Absolutely nothing to do with him, dude.
As far as I remember.
No.
I was best friend. I was best friend with Wild Turkey 101. Speaking of, Oh, I do have.
You know what? Actually, I think Esso's confusing two different events. Now, mind you, it's been a bit since I looked at the screenshots, but I'm pretty sure there was two separate incidences
There
of
was
me
the
jumping
argument
in
in
and fighting.
Shane Killian's server where
Yeah, where everyone
Midnight-
but me got
but
banned.
that was ages beforehand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a lot before, but this was like basically the last straw. And I think they both had said something, but it was just sort of like no, there was no fighting, there was no reason for this. Literally, someone just mentioned Jin, and Shane jumped in, and that was what I got pissed off about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that part of it, and then and all that stuff happened later in the day after I started drinking. So.
And at the time, Dapperton had been immensely rude to both Toast and Juan in the chat, which
I'm thinking he might have been.
Anyways,
but, yeah.
we got the story through.
Sorry.
fight you.
We have a lot to do this video.
But
so.
there was a fight between me and Esso on a similar, related, drier subject.
Look, we've got about 20 minutes left to go, and it counts like rematch on this account. Anyway.
I had made an observation, which I'll expand upon later in this video. She screenshotted what I'd said out of context and DM'd it to Jim, which Jim, being Jim, uploaded it to Twitter and tried to misrepresent what I'd said to as many people as possible without the initial context. So I brought up the fact that she deliberately quote-mined what I'd said and lied about me, which as a result she tried that dogpiling shit mentioned earlier with Promethium Oxide, who was also in the server at the time, which resulted in Shane banning both of them. To which
I wasn't banned. That's a straight-up lie.
Wait, is this supposed to still be about Dapperton's server? And
no, this is about the Shane event, which is a totally different one.
Right, but I'm saying, like, isn't that what the point of, like, isn't he saying that this is the reason why?
Yeah, I don't even...
This was like 3 months ago. The Dapperton thing happened in January.
Yeah,
is he really this stupid to think that, like, something that happened like 5 months into the future or 6 months into the future was the reason for something happening then? What?
This whole event happened just because basically Midnight talks shit and Shane's too much of a pussy to actually do anything.
Wait, hold on.
Hard to ban.
Is he talking about the fetishes aren't necessarily sexual, kiddo?
Yes, I think that's what he's referring to.
That was like
a different event.
Yeah, that was. Oh, this is not the event he's talking about right now.
No. That's the one he's talking about. But these are like 3 different events he's pushed into one event somehow.
Basically, a bunch of events that are a bunch of them that had really nothing to do with him.
Because my problem,
so let's be clear.
The fetish comment, I think you'd already been banned by that point.
I'd already been banned. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I was banned.
this was just me, and I think Tally, you might have been in at that because you're still in there, right?
Dude, I was banned when.
Yeah, I think you might have come in and laughed at him.
But hold on.
Toast made a change.org petition to get himself unbanned.
Okay, so let's get this straight. So what happened with Dapperton server, which happened on, I remember it's because it was New Year's Day because I was drunk. It was New Year's. Mm-hmm. He's saying that the reason why that happened was because of something that happened, 2 months ago, where I posted a comment that he made that you sent me, where he was saying that sexual fetishes. Does he understand how time works? That we can't go back in time to do
and then
things.
He said without the initial context, but that was the initial context. He later changed the comment.
Right. But I'm talking about the timeline.
Yeah, I know. But he's also combining it not only with the New Year's.
Why would you be mad about something that happened 6 months in the future? You don't know it happened yet. Why would you delete Dapperton server based on things that hasn't happened yet? Like, does he understand that time travel is not real?
Jim, he's literally Steins Gate in real life. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just when I think he can't get any dumber, he okay, go ahead. Sorry.
They turned around and banned Shane from Dapperton server because Shane was allegedly violating terms of service by promoting.
The date for the fetish comment was 2 days before Hitler's birthday.
So it was in April. So yeah, it's still 4 months in the future.
What he just said, okay, that's he's wrong. No, Shane got banned because he continually made up shit about Jim.
4 months prior to this.
Yeah,
What? 4 months prior to the
I'll
fetish
throw those
comment,
timestamps down.
yeah.
But you know, Shane continually just talked bare shit about Jim, which I called out in
Hold
the
on.
chat, by the way. Never got a response. I didn't get a response. Didn't happen.
We got to put out I got to do something in Photoshop for SO. Okay.
No.
Go ahead. Carry on.
When so I called. I said, okay, where did Jim say this? And I never get a response. And shortly afterwards, I am removed from the server. Very sad, tragic, I know. And I think, okay, this is just not a healthy thing to do. So what can I do about this? I guess I can remove Shane Killian from talking his shit in my nice server.
Because it was technically one of our rules that you're not allowed to slander people outside our server either.
Yeah.
Because we only accept decent people.
Yeah.
That
Basically,
was an entire thing.
it doesn't really matter where you do it. Like if you advocate for the mass genocide.
Wait, I figured it out. The rule that Shane got banned on was made because of SO. 6 months prior to that.
That's true. Back
So
in the,
kind of
yeah.
has something to do with him.
Hold on. I need to contextualize this.
Create your own narrative that you can push on people.
Yes.
Of course.
So
don't
I want to show you how SO's brain is broken. And then it was April 18th. April 18th. So I want, and I can't write for shit using my mouse. So 18.
Okay. We believe you.
21.9. Okay. So here is a little illustration for you guys. Okay. So in late December, that's when Shane said bad things. Okay. And we're going to mark it in red. So Shane said bad things. We're going to mark that in red in late December, very late December. Okay. And then he was banned then, and then it caused a big commotion.
Mm-hmm.
Then the server got... no, let's do that. Let's do this one in green. In green, Dapperton's server was deleted. In blue was when the sexual fetishes aren't necessarily fetishes comment happened. So he thinks that this comment that happened in the future resulted in this event when it really was based on this event. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what's happening.
Okay.
And he's getting another thing that happened like in September where we had a huge argument with him on Shane Killian's server, confused with the whole event because nobody was left in the server in April except me and Tally.
Okay. So there we go.
Nobody was even there. No dogpiling. Nobody was there.
So SO believes in time travel.
Tone deaf boyfriend.
Moving along. Moving along.
Yeah.
Lies, according to them, which Dapperton wasn't too fond of, which resulted in them freaking out. Dapperton made a whole video about it.
Well, no, Dapperton freaked out. That was the thing. And he'll admit it. No, Dapperton, if you're in chat, I'm not expecting you to. I'm not expecting you to self-flagellate here, but
I was just
already.
sad. I was so sad.
Yeah.
We got to move this along. This is gonna turn into the UPB stream again.
Let's do it.
Fucking 8 hours long.
Dude.
Let's go through all his content right now. I have like 2 days off work, dude. Let's do it.
Fucking marathon every Midnight Fandom video ever made. Okay.
It back at the start of this year, yet because they're friends with Jim, they've now managed to work their way back not only into Dapperton's server once again, but have admin roles and have more autonomy over what they can or couldn't do before, which...
Boss.
What does that even
It's all
mean?
part of my master plan to get
What
Shiny and Prom back as moderator. Hold on.
We didn't... wait, hold on.
Dapperton reached out to me and said, "Hey, I feel bad about the whole Shiny thing. Is there any way I can talk to them or you can have them get a hold of me?" And I was like, "Okay." That was the extent of my involvement in it.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Do you think we were like bursting to get back into that after this one? Like,
No. Do you think
No,
I'm
we
even? Do you think I'm an even active moderator? The only thing I've ever done was like kick one person and put someone on trial because I was like, I can't be bothered with it. I was live streaming at the time. Someone check this
Very
out.
first thing I did when I came back in was start calling people who were trash talking me while I wasn't there out. Like I clearly was so invested in being in there.
Yeah, dude. So basically, what really happened here is, Dapperton kind of was like, yeah, no, this is, I made a little mistake.
Oh yeah, you
We
guys
were
don't
like-
even have admin roles.
Dude, we were.
Dapperton has
Listen,
admin roles,
Don't give
that's
anyone
it.
admin roles.
Don't.
Like,
Nobody. Not even me.
Nobody.
Yeah, we specifically said that you should don't give anyone
Like-
admin roles.
Maybe if your son wants to be your admin one day, make him your admin. I don't care, but like, no, don't give people admins.
So basically, he was like, "Yeah, I made a little mistake here, guys." And then I was basically eat a dick. Shiny was more like, yeah. And then I basically came up with the thing with, if he can beat me on Counter-Strike, he didn't beat me on Counter-Strike, but he put up a good fight.
I
So
just
was
wanted
like,
the
fair
videos
enough.
like calling for Prum to get put in jail to go down. That's what really upset me.
I have to say, I love that because I love that clip.
No,
That
it makes
button.
me really upset.
It's
I was
hilarious.
super upset. Anyone who heard me after that went up can tell I like cried about that, dude. I took that way too seriously.
It is one of my favorite clips after saying
Hashtag
take
jail
those
prom.
whiskey reviews down right. Ah,
We
dude,
need to make
it was
we need to make that a shirt prom.
No, don't make that a
Yes.
shirt. They'll do it. The
Yes.
UK doesn't have a
I
sense of
will
humor.
make a
They'll think this
shirt.
is- No.
Jim, can you please? You know the picture of me holding up the piece of paper, dude.
Yes, I can make
Get
that
one
say
to-
anything, and I
yes. Yeah. Dude, you should be in jail. Is the thing that we need on that.
have. All right, moving
Yeah, no.
along. Moving along.
So yeah, but in short, Dapperton put up a good Counter-Strike game. The rest is history. Yeah.
That's so.
Anyone
ignorant.
in Dapperton's old server can tell you that it was being run like a dictatorship. So expect if some
Apart from the people.
Everyone.
Wait, hold on.
Apart from none of us having moderator roles, you would have to place that on Dapperton.
Talk about the
No,
old.
the old one.
Oh, the
The
old
old
one. Okay. No.
Which basically all the people in the current server we're talking in enjoyed so much that they just came over here and didn't move to the new one. Like
Yeah.
40 people just decided not to because the admin staff.
But
was so
part of
wonderful.
why we got stricter rules, SO, is because, whose audience was it that kept trying to start shit? Who was it that made it a necessity for us to have stricter rules?
Molyneux?
Oh, no, it was Esoteric Entity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah, a lot of our rules
What a
came
shocker.
from that whole thing.
Imagine.
I don't know what a tyrannical oligarchy holds oligarchs to the same requirement.
Oh, yeah, we kicked out our own admins.
Yeah, we kicked out mods, admins, like, bro.
Basically, the point was
If you didn't toe the line, you were gone.
for the most part, it would stay out of the debate channel unless you want to get banned.
Unless you're right. if you're
Because that's what it
correct.
was.
No, because you can be wrong, because you had Pingu, and you loved arguing with Pingu.
Dude, Pingu was great because he argued honestly. Like that's about. Miss Pingu. Bring back Pingu.
I don't know what happened to Pingu, actually. I haven't
Who
seen
knows?
him.
someone so much as sneezes at these mentally unstable lunatics the wrong way, this server
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I
Wait,
did just
didn't
admit I
Esso
tried
like
things.
go on a freak out and like ban everybody from his server because he thought they were like spies, and then like
he
end
did
up
so
having to
bad.
delete his whole channel?
Jim, he has auditory hallucinations.
Even Filthy Heretic was like, I don't know what Esso's problem is. He's acting insane.
Like,
Ah, it's
the
tough.
thing is, he did it really poorly, too, because I do have, maybe I shouldn't say, I have links into his server because he has them everywhere for some reason. He didn't lock it down very good.
There's some
It's
weird
really
shit,
not hard to get into like any
Yeah.
of SO servers because he shills them in like almost
And then he
every.
forgets.
Well, and the great thing about this is he's like, oh, you guys are like potentials. It's like, no, we just kind of stumble into these channels.
Yeah.
And then well, it was actually in Shane Killian's server where he actually spoke to him, or I made a comment that he made where he said, don't you find it funny how Shiny and the rest of the gang are in like every anarcho-capitalist server? And I was like, boy, wow, I find it
Whoa.
really. It's like, wow, how funny that we seem to associate with a lot of these people who share similar ideas to most anarcho-capitalists.
I can't believe these people who are
We
film buffs
involve
are in
ourselves-
every film Discord that I'm in. Imagine being this person.
People who
or to
totally get
disappear
legal
as well.
copies of
Jim
books
and his little
stuff.
group are so detached from reality that I can
Yeah,
instantly
I
tell
did.
just by certain
Thanks.
word choices people use
I
or
bought
the way
a
they
voiceover
frame
thingy,
something
yes.
that their view
I'm
on the
glad I
matter
did.
was
Wait, are you playing the
shaped by
video?
talking to Jim or one
Yeah.
of his friends. For example, Jim has grabbed onto this dead meme which Marxists on Twitter tried to create earlier this year in order to
Citation
demonize
needed.
political content creators who use avatars. Because it just so
my
happens
God.
that a lot
Oh
of
my
the
God.
people who use avatars
Or
to
maybe they-
comment
He's so
over their
mad.
videos
He's
happen to
so
be
mad.
people who call them on their bullshit. And one of the particular content creators who was heavily affected by this was yours truly.
Wait,
And the term
hold
which
on. So
Marxists
the
came
person who started that meme was Sean Moorhead. He keeps saying that he's a Marxist, but I've looked every once in a while and I can't see any evidence that he's a Marxist. He just seems like some weeb on Twitter.
Also, wasn't it just like a bunch of different Rantsonas and Esso just got really offended by it?
Yeah.
Like,
'cause-
there's like some
but-
random dragon.
But
I've never
this,
seen
but this,
before.
this thing being a meme has been around for a while. It just finally got a name. Like,
It got a page.
yeah. Like I had made a video like 2-3 years prior. Like if you go and look at my channel, there's a video called "A New Channel Direction?" And it's me kind of going after the whole Rantsona thing. And then like almost people thought that he was ripping me off. I don't think so. I think he basically just had the same idea that I did. But TLDR made a similar video. A lot of people have also made other videos. Like if you look up Rantsona, like there's other people making videos about it who are not Marxists.
And then similarly, there's the skeptic clone thing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened like 2 or 3 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, me in real life is a skeptic clone, basically, dude. I just my nan is a skeptic girl.
everything skeptic clone.
It's basically like Nazball Gang, but 2015.
All right, moving along.
for this attempted forced meme was the Rantsona meme. Now, for even them, this died within like a week because it never really gained any significant traction since, as it turns out, you can't just force people to develop an attitude towards something because you call what you're saying about it a meme and circle jerk with a few of your friends over it to make it famous. But
Does he
because
realize
this
most
was
memes aren't
something
just
which Jim
posted
perceived to be
repetitively
a
every
slight
day?
against me, to this day you will still regularly see him cringe-inducingly trying to run with the whole Rantsona
Oh my
non-meme
God, dude.
as if it's relevant. So when someone approaches me talking about Rantsonas, I can pretty much immediately tell where they came from or where they got
KnowYourMeme.com.
whatever narrative that is in their head. Now, Jim's relations and how he's manipulated Dapperton in an eerily similar
doesn't
way to how
understand
Filthy and
memes
I
at
were
all.
manipulated by Blue along with the people Jim runs in
Citation
circles
needed.
with is a subject for its own video entirely. One which I'll hopefully never have to make because I really hope that this is going to be
Do
the
it.
end of my
You won't.
problems with him.
Do
I
it.
mean,
Do
this
it.
is what
Balls.
Mr. Enter did with his online harassment problem, and the people who were harassing him got chased away. So
Wait, hold on.
that's
Let me
sort
ask
of
you a
what
question.
inspired this
What
video.
possibly could I have brainwashed Dapperton to do?
Stop using a cartoon because it reminded you of Esso and you didn't like your boyfriend reminding you
No,
of
but you
Mortal
still use
Enemy.
it.
But no, like, if I was planning on doing that, I would have done that a long time ago. Like if I was trying to brainwash Dapperton to stop using a Rantsona, I would have done it like the instant he started talking to me. I would have been like, stop using that. But I never have. I was just like, do whatever you want. Like I don't care. That's not my thing. But whatever. Do whatever you want. It wasn't until like the whole Rantsona thing started coming around where he was like, oh, I'm done with that. And a lot of people a lot of other people were doing the same thing and distancing themselves from their Rantsona. It wasn't me. And unless you're trying to say that I like have complete control of all these Rantsonas that all of a sudden just abandoned using Rantsonas. I'm that. Never mind. Man, did I really leave that big of an empire for you, Shiny? Jesus Christ!
I'm trying to do responsible, but like, man, I am so into this power trip right now.
Don't talk about worms. That's
Worm.
Yeah, worms. Just worms. Don't
in the first place.
Spoil the
but
secret.
Anyway, it's sort of difficult to even begin with addressing some of the outrageously defamatory shit Jim said about me over the years, along with his motivations. Not because it's difficult to characterize or describe, but because this is where I start having to go into personal details about myself, since otherwise I wouldn't be able to actually respond to a lot of these claims. So, sometime around September of 2018, Blue, for some reason, was still under the impression that I was favorable to his cause, and was comfortable with voice chatting with me and discussing our plans, quote-unquote.
Why does he think
I'd also
Owen
had
Ronald,
one idea which proved to be a saving grace for me, which was that during the plotting with Blue initially, I'd recorded a few sessions to prove my passive role. I'd made a few recordings because Blue was talking about his further plans he had, and I wanted to help make sure that he was gone forever because I wanted to help solve a problem which I felt responsible in causing so that I could prove that I did have good intentions. So I just went along and pretended to be in favor and add to what Blue was suggesting and pretending just generally that I was in on it. I then uploaded these and sent these around a few Discord servers with the explicitly stated context for these recordings that I was not actually working with Blue, that I was pretending to work with Blue. Jim then created an archive channel hosting these recordings on YouTube.
I already know what he's going to say. Go ahead. Keep going.
And claimed in the description of each of these uploads that these were secret recordings taken of me conspiring with Blue.
Okay.
So I messaged
Pause
Jim
it real quick. So, here's what happened. So, there has been someone that's been editing Encyclopedia Dramatica, and what happened was he got a link to those audio recordings and posted the link, and I was like, that's kind of wonky and weird. How about I just make a YouTube channel, make video versions of those, and then upload them? And that's what I did. And then all I did was just go like, I don't want to like get involved with this in any way. I'm just going to take whatever Encyclopedia Dramatica said about those recordings and then put them in the description for all of them. Because it was a video for Encyclopedia Dramatica about what's going on about his page Encyclopedia Dramatica about this. I wasn't going to put my 2 cents in. I did not write that. I copied and pasted exactly what was on Encyclopedia Dramatica at the time for those clips, and I just posted them, and that was it. And then he started losing his shit there where they were incorrect. It's like, well, of course they're for Encyclopedia Dramatica. Do you really expect that thing to be like a bastion of like perfect journalism? No,
I do. It's never steered me wrong. That's how I live my life.
So yeah,
Encyclopedia Dramatica is where I get all my news.
Yeah, I don't even remember reading it. Let's put it like that. Like,
I told you guys, I grew up reading that and pretending I was.
Dude, we have 19 dislikes. I've never been more proud of this community.
So here we are. Let me pull up one of the things so I can actually read what it says, because I'm pretty sure Dramatica has been updated since then. Oh boy, it's long. It has now come through leaked Google Drives that Blue, from the very start of his Sarbomba data drop, was let me make this bigger, fucking 4K monitor. Data drop was the only one with all of the evidence of Lefty Pole's biggest YouTubers being pedophiles and soliciting along with trading CP through Discord. In one of his leaked chats, Blue tells us a story about how he took his data drop to an advertising agent and told him that he was in on it. Evidence that supposedly proves that Lefty Pole of being pedophiles, doxers, and false flagging. And supposedly, the advertising agent asked Blue, "What is your incentive in releasing this? What do you expect to gain from this?" To which Blue supposedly answered, "I told him my self-interest in this is to, you know, gain fame and notoriety and subs and views and attention towards us and our ideology while simultaneously destroying the enemy." Which, by the way, Jim Jesus breaking in, that was Esso's described intention for doing this as well. He was doing all this data drop, not so much to expose them. He said that that was a reason too, but he also wanted to get 20,000 subscribers to his YouTube channel. Going on, it gets interesting because then the advertising agent had again supposedly said this to Blue in response: "Absolutely hard evidence is indestructible, but don't be shy to act on circumstantial evidence and accusational evidence, because accusational or circumstantial evidence can definitely tarnish people's reputation, and it's accusational and circumstantial evidence that is going to allow this." By the way, I'm reading the "us" and everything. I don't know why he typed it out.
I would love to
exactly.
Just
This
I don't know what
basically
people think.
hold on. This is basically PR campaign of drama that we created to continue, because what damages people's reputation is proof, hard evidence, but what creates outstanding drama to drag on the issue and gives us more attention is to get people to talk about anyone who is anyone talking about me and you. Now, as it was said earlier, Blue was the only one who had the supposed evidence. This is made clear when listening to the drives, because when conversating with Esoteric Entity, it is shown that he had no idea what the actual evidence was, and says to Blue, quote, "That is the problem. I have been noticing from the beginning you're holding all the evidence, so I don't know what we really have," unquote. To which Blue responds, "Well, I'm telling you what we have." This is especially hilarious because throughout the fiasco, it was heard that from Blue and Esoteric that they were not only trying to profit from the data drop, but they were honest in their intentions, and had reported those who they have accused on Discord. But that these Google Drives were only further proved to the extent that Esoteric Entity and Blue, I said it backwards, but whatever, were trying to libel and slander their political rivals and potentially destroy their lives with false allegations so that they could gain from YouTube fame. Where in that did I say that Esoteric Entity was still on Blue's side at this time? Not anywhere. That was the entire description of the thing that I posted. That was copied directly from it. And you can check the backlogs of whenever this date was released to see that they match up verbatim. Because you can see the history of Wikipedia and Encyclopedia Dramatica articles. Anyways, that's bullshit. Move along.
I'd just like to give a quick cack at the fact that everyone's whenever they bring up circumstantial evidence, they don't realize that circumstantial evidence is actually,
admissible in court.
It's fingerprints on a weapon, circumstantial evidence, blood splatter on you, circumstantial evidence, etc., etc., etc. It's genuinely not like, oh, this person was in this area. That's not the extent. Like, seriously, people.
Anyways, moving along.
Indeed.
In Dapperton's Discord, asking him basically why he was outright lying about me and misrepresenting my recordings. These videos are still up to this day, by the way, with the exact same descriptions.
There you go.
He started freaking out that I
I haven't edited him.
challenge
He admits that I haven't edited him.
He fucking
Moving
doxed me all because I called him.
He says he doxed you. He says you doxed him, I mean.
Nope, didn't happen.
It just genuinely
Yep.
didn't happen.
Go to Esoteric Entity's video where he accuses me of doxing, and read Dapperton's comment. Read Promethium Oxide's comment, which should still be there because he never deletes comments. Remember that. He never deletes comments.
What was my comment? I'm a bit whammed already. So
Yeah.
what did I?
You can just read it.
How much are you
Did I-
drinking?
I'm drinking every time I cringe.
Oh, okay. Dude, that's not safe.
Do you need me to
Honestly,
put you
Rip
on like
Prom's
a
liver.
Yeah.
You do 30 minutes of commentary for every 20 seconds of video because like that's how he does. Like he just compacts like nonsense with a nonsense with a nonsense with a nonsense. It's like multifaceted nonsense.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like you have to untangle it.
we had to come up with a full-on timeline because of something earlier. Like
Really got to get the logistics.
Yeah, it's
it is.
it's do you know that neighbor that you have that goes all out for Christmas and like makes like his house like a giant glowing orb, right? It's like going over to his house and he's like and helping him out. And you're just untangling boxes and boxes and boxes of Christmas lights.
Dude.
Because you can't be bothered to just like store them well. And
Yeah.
Quick story. We actually have someone like that, but their whole house turns into a fucking snowman, dude. It's like the Eiffel fucking tower. Dude, it's amazing.
It's like we've untangled all these boxes and it's like, oh, don't worry, we have a whole warehouse full more. So we need to get through these boxes, man. That's why I'm like trying to like move along.
Move along.
Unnecessary comments need to go to the wayside.
Out for brazenly lying about me. I have no idea how he...
No, stop. Don't. Just keep going.
Just Jim.
We'll get into the doxing stuff later. If he doesn't actually give any proof
to my
for it this time,
personal information
we'll go
to
into
this day. He claims that he didn't dox me.
Oh my god, did you hear that one?
Wow. I'm sorry. Usually doxers don't care. Like they're like, I doxed you, so what? By the way, there is. I have a website, jimjesus.com, where there actually is someone's dox on there. I don't know if you guys remember the whole Stefan Molyneux thing where that guy was going around doxing people. Well, we found out who that guy was and we doxed him, and that got him to shut up and go away. I am perfectly okay with doxing doxers. If it gets him to stop, I'll dox a doxer. If Vesso kept doxing, I'd probably been like, all right, we need to find out who this dude is. But I didn't find out who this dude is, so.
No, but he posted who he was himself and then denied it.
Yeah.
And then everyone found his lamp post.
Right, but the idea that I found his family and all this, I don't know.
I refuse to accept even the claim that Cacti doxed him, right? Because he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't publish it, and further, right, the information was already there. It was right in front of him. Cacti just showed that it was. That's all that happened here.
Yeah, and
Because they didn't Esso like call his bluff, like you don't know anything, and then Cacti was like, all right.
Well, let me find out. Yeah, and he used Google, and by his own definition, anything that you find on Google can't be doxing because it's public information. So which is it? Was it doxing or is it doxing? And you also doxed Dapperton's kid, or not?
No, but even under that same definition,
Sending
Cacti,
someone their own address isn't
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody
And it was
doxed
never published
Cacti.
anywhere ever.
Cacti wasn't gonna publish it anyway. He wasn't.
He just was shit posting because he's Cacti.
Like the whole Jim doxed me. Who are you then? Like why does
It's
no
like
one know
when
who
I
you are?
threatened to call someone's parents. I never called their parents, but it sure got them to fuck off.
And probably got them to stop creeping on teenagers online. But we're not going to
From what I
comment.
understand, yes.
Anyways, we got the idea.
But he literally said, I and a few of my friends found what was sent to me through DMs by one of his friends moments after I left the Discord because his friends started dogpiling me. Like,
Never
fuck
said that.
That's
Citation needed.
What?
off. I and most other people don't need a screenshot of you literally saying, here's Esso's real name and the names of some of his family members I managed to obtain.
All you need to do is you could blank it out. Just show it where I'm saying your address and stuff, and you can blank all that stuff out.
Fallout is great at doing that in
Yeah.
all of their lore.
Yeah, I mean, you could just blank that stuff out and just say, here's the screenshot of Jim doing that. I blanked out my personal information, but he doesn't do that. He shows a picture of Cacti doing it.
No,
And Cacti was in a private DM
With Esso.
with Esso. That's his evidence. And he was in Dapperton's server. We just talked about this. He came into Dapperton's server and started accusing me of doxing him. And everybody was like, did you really do that? And I was like, ask him for the evidence. Tell him to post the video. Esso, post the video. And I just kept spamming it in the chat. Esso, post the video, post the video, post the video. And it went on for like an hour. And he refused to link his own video proving that I doxed him. That quote unquote proves I doxed him. And then finally someone was like, oh my God, I'll post it. And so when they posted it, and everybody was like, great, let's look at the evidence to see if Jim doxed you. Whatever minutes went by, everyone was like, no, there was nothing in there. It was just a big nothing burger. Moving along.
I'm sure
and he
posted
lost
it,
his shit
but-
and rage quit Dapperton server. That was the story of that.
Yeah, but it was fucking funny.
Yeah. I mean, like, if I'm going to say that I didn't dox you, if I doxed him and I was like, I didn't dox him, that's a complete lie. I wouldn't be asking you to post the video that proves that I did it if it proved that I did it, right? Because it didn't prove I did it. Because I didn't do it.
That'd be a bit stupid there, Jim.
You know, I'll post the video in the chat. That's how certain I am that this is complete horseshit. Anyways, go ahead. Moving on.
Data.
To be able to tell that you're guilty is sin. We don't have the mental capacity of a 5-year-old like you apparently do.
Yes, you do.
There's such thing as deductive reasoning. At this point, you
5-year-olds.
I'm just gonna.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have deductive reasoning.
I'm just gonna put a big thonk on that.
usually try and flip-flop and try and claim, well, he did spread this around, but I gave
Here's
this
the
personal information.
supposed proof.
Wait, hold on. No, Cacti didn't spread it around. That's the thing.
No
Like-
one spread anything.
I didn't see
think he's
anything.
Wait, he's referring to the article again. But he's going back and forth on what he's talking about. He's talking about the article. That's
The
what
article
that's
which-
it there.
He
Which
posted
he-
on his Facebook page.
And which he gave you permission to post in the chat.
Right.
because
I
he
kept
didn't-
spamming like, can I post this? Can I post this? And he was like, that's not, I guarantee you call him my bluff. And he was like, you don't have anything. And I was like, all right, here you go. And then I posted it. You deleted it shortly afterwards because you were like, it was just enough to, just to link it. And then he just was like, oh, that's not me. That's a fake name. We use another name. And then Cacti was like, I'm pressing exit out. I need to know more.
And suddenly his
And that
autism
was,
started.
and then he went off and did his own thing.
Bro, that man speaks Lambos, dude. If you exist near like a street that's lit at night, Cacti knows where you are at all hours, dude.
Oh fuck! Stares at my lamppost down in the distance.
Dude, your
No more
lamppost is
streaking at the full
snitching,
moon,
dude.
I guess.
Yeah, dude, but hey, you know what? I didn't make a video. I did not make a video, Zero. I did not make a video saying that so is a terrible person. I haven't even I haven't even talked about him anywhere, except for like private conversations with people that I know.
We joke.
And,
Well,
and who bring it up to me because I don't really talk about him. Anyone will tell you like, oh, Jim's been good. Jim hasn't been talking about it.
heck, I even try to not bring him up to Jim too much because I love to talk shit about him, and I know Jim try not to.
I try to bring Jim back into the war fray because this method of like don't talk about midnight doesn't work.
I just miss shit posting about him. It's fun.
Kaiser Wilhelm the fucking second of talking shit about midnight.
Anyways, moving along. We gotta move through this. This is
Now,
ridiculous.
myself somewhere, which of course I never did, and he can't point to any place.
Wait, what was he talking about again?
He said about the article. He said that I posted it myself somewhere, which he can't point to, and it was like, wait.
Because he deleted his Facebook account or he got banned or something. It was like years ago. On his Facebook page, he posted it on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a link to his fucking account. Anyways,
If not, how did you get it, and how did you know it was him? Like, wait.
Yeah, like what
and
kind
his
of hacker
and
skills
his
do you have?
and his personal profile picture was a picture of him holding that sign at the event, and he was like proud of it. Like, look at me. That's how I noticed. That's right.
Protesting the game.
Yeah, that's right. That's how I found the articles because he fucking linked it in this comment section of his. This was like 2 years ago. Okay, we got it.
That I've ever done,
And I haven't-
in any
yeah.
which way.
I haven't shared it since he said I could share it. Moving on.
Yeah,
Other people did though, but that's not you.
No.
I would.
way that was even remotely connected to my YouTube channel, which is
Your Facebook page was connected to your YouTube channel. Next.
Just like your DeviantArt. and
Yeah,
everything.
you had a page called Esoteric Entity, and you used to post stuff on there, and then share it on your real profile. So, like every one of your posts had like 34, 50 shares, And it was all from one person by the same name, which I'm not going to mention here.
I would, but I just can't.
No,
tell
don't
them
do
what
it
to
because they could get my
I
channel
did it
flagged.
on. I did it
And
on
it's not relevant. Like,
but-
he's not doxing anymore. There's no reason to do anything about it. So he's just being a stupid idiot. So I'm just going to laugh at him here.
Dude,
Like,
when,
if he went back to doxing people and stuff like he used to do on DeviantArt, like, maybe we can have a discussion about whether or not it's the right thing to do. But no.
no, like,
But he's not doing that, so.
A couple months ago, he was talking some mad shit about me and Toast on some shit, right? So me and Toast did a little stream, and I would refer to him, I refuse to refer to him as anything other than
Midnight Phantom.
that which will not, no, as that which we shall not say here.
Oh. The power word prom. That's what
Yeah.
it's called. It's called
I-
the power word.
He basically did. So basically, in short, I'm just gonna say rest in peace.
Complains about his disinformation under his videos or attempts to call him out on it. Oh, did I mention that he doxed my family? Yeah.
Never
no,
happened.
he didn't.
That's still part of the same story.
Keep going.
Did I mention? Yes, you did mention, but it doesn't follow. He didn't do it. It's just.
Hold on. I have to do one thing right now.
It's false. No way.
What's that?
Not this time. We created it. Not this.
This is
no.
this is
Not
my
this
response to all that
Totally
shit.
Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication.
Okay, go ahead.
Not even close to the fucking worst part yet, and he's starting to make Blue look sympathetic in comparison. But even if this wasn't a dox, and he was just sharing around information,
I wasn't sharing any information. Moving along.
and he somehow obtained legitimately, this would still be an intimidation tactic intended to try and silence me.
No one
Except
wants
I
you to
didn't do
stop
that.
talking.
Yeah, except I didn't do that. I mean, we're sitting here watching your video on my channel.
No,
The
and the
only
reason.
one who wants you to stop
Wait, hold on,
talking
hold on,
is
hold on.
Jim's friend who wants Jim to not have to talk about you.
Hold on. And the reason this came up at all was because Midnight tried to discredit Encyclopedia Dramatica because he said that the name was wrong. So Jim then came out like, no, it's not spelled right, but they're pretty right. And then Midnight threw a hissy fit. You're a lying little shit, Midnight, and that's about as far as I can. Like, what's wrong with you?
I remember the first part of this happened while I was asleep. I woke up to like this link and I was confused.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Now,
we've been at
Jim's
this for
lied
two-
about
two
me
months
so many
now.
times that if I were to go into detail about every single one of them, or the story behind them and the actual context, this video would be well over 2 hours long, so I guess I'll try and start rattling some of my favorites off here. He's claimed that I'm mentally incapable of driving a car.
I did not say that. That was the rogue millennial.
He's claimed that I secretly have fetal alcohol syndrome, which...
That's a meme.
I'm sorry. Look at his face from his old Midnight Phantom
It's a
videos.
reasonable enough assumption.
Yeah, it's a reasonable enough assumption. I didn't say with certainty. It's like 100% true. It's like the facial features are there. He's retarded. One can only deduce using deductive reasoning. Facial features match up.
Using
you took it to a
empirical.
The
court-
symptoms show up in your behavior. One can only deduce that you possibly have it.
If you took it to a court and they weren't trying to prove damages even, the judge would say it's reasonable enough that he genuinely believes that. It's not slander.
And by the way, yeah, the not driving a car thing, that was something that the rogue millennial was telling me that he heard him saw, which by the way is like a big fan of SO.
mean what? Some of these are just like tabloid gossip tier bullshit, and yeah, obviously none of them are true, but
How does he
anyway.
know about the...
He selectively edited sections of a Q&A stream I was involved in
No.
with David Friedman, where he was answering some questions
link to that
about
video
his
too.
positions which people in the call were posing to him, and I felt that he was mischaracterizing a couple of the positions he was attempting to describe, so I was just trying to clarify what these positions actually were, and
So, I'm going to link to the entire video. Copy link location. I'm going to link it in
Shiny.
the
Hi,
description.
Larry.
And you can compare it to the video that I edited, and you can see that I did not take him out of context. In fact, I even added a bunch of talking at the very beginning of the video that wasn't relevant to his question, just because I thought that, you know, the overlap would help understand the context of the question that he was going to ask David Friedman. So I tried to keep as much of it in context as possible. The only thing I did was I cut out the parts where he and him were having disagreements. Everything else was on the cutting room floor. I'm not going to mirror his video. He has his own videos you can go and watch. I can link that. But people were asking for the parts of it that were good, and they didn't want to deal with all the timestamps, especially since Nate was deleting the timestamps. So I was just like, all right, fine. I'll just fucking make a mix and put it on my channel and call it a day, and it went viral. Okay, so we got a super chat. Hey, Larry. Mischaracterizing esoteric entities' actual words.
You've got mail.
I think you mean, how dare you mischaracterization?
Esoteric entities' actual words. How dare you mischaracterize
It's a
him
fair
by
point,
stating
Mari.
his
It's a
actual
fair
words,
point.
Jim?
You're just a misguided individual, okay?
God, you're just a misguided individual. I don't wanna give your channel a strike.
I'm waiting for him to be like, take that video down now.
And then just spit out the camera.
Oh, did you spat at the camera? It was so beautiful, dude.
Anyways, where are we going with that? We got distracted by a super chat.
Shiny, who
Oh, yeah, he's
was
retarded.
in this stream for some reason, started talking over me, and Jim tried to claim that this was a debate. Then when
Shiny
this
didn't
video...
talk over you.
No, it wasn't.
Fix this now.
Shiny said.
Oh, that's an
Shiny
inside baseball.
talked over him at one point because he was. About
He
the
just
flagpole
wouldn't shut
thing.
the fuck up, and
And
he just didn't get the
Shiny
point. And I was
said-
like, no, fucking drop off my goddamn flagpole, you
Yeah,
furry piece of
Shiny
shit.
said, I tell you to fall off my flag.
Yeah, she only like you can go and watch both videos and you see like she only interrupted him once, and that was just to be like, no, if you were hanging from my flagpole, I'd tell you to get off. And that was mostly just you trying to move the conversation on because it was a Q&A, and he kept trying to turn it into a debate, and even said so in the end of the video. And then when people were pointing that out, like, no, you were debating. You even said that. He was like, oh, I misspoke. What I meant to
Most of
say
that
was
video-
cute questions and answers. And I was like, wait a minute. So what you said was, sorry for turning this into a debate when this was supposed to be a questions and answers. I'm sorry about that. What you meant to say is, according to you, that you're sorry for turning a question and answers section into a question and answer section, and you're sorry for that. Are you mentally retarded? Serious question now.
It's really weird to me too. That like the whole crew seems to think I was sabotaging their stream. I spent most of the stream reading his Wikipedia page so that I could ask questions that weren't just gonna irritate me to hear it back. So I was asking about his like SCA history and stuff. I didn't know about that. I had to do research while everyone else was talking about shit I didn't care about. Really, I hate to say that, but I didn't.
Wait, moving along. How much more time we got in this video?
Video started getting
Not that
ratioed
long.
because people were upset with him mischaracterizing that exchange. Most notably, Nate the voluntarist, the person who actually uploaded it. He started blocking anyone who called him out like the intellectual coward that he is.
So here's what happened. So someone in his Discord server said, hey, everybody go and downvote this video right now. And so everybody started doing this. Now, remember what I said earlier. If anyone had would ever do this in my server, I would ban them from my server. Like, this is not a raid server. It's a violation of Discord's terms of service, and I would remove them from my server. And it would be a while before I would even let them back in. Anybody who's been in my server knows that I do not allow for shit like that at all. I don't even allow for discussions to happen in the archive chat rooms. I'm like, nah, this is not a room for chat room. Go somewhere else. And I'll delete everything. Yeah, so...
You've taken the whip out of me for that before.
Yeah.
Hi, okay, the
Yeah.
lamppost talker has arrived.
Okay, so, hold on.
I'm here to teach those.
God damn you, Cacti, you fucking ruined my day.
Look here, I got
You ruined my
and
flow.
thoughts. They're mine now.
Cacti.
As the cult leader, I say you let Jim finish what he was saying. Shut up.
Where was I going with that? What was he saying again? Remind me.
You were talking about how Issa was a massive faggot. And how you should.
But
don't
you
let
can't
people
say
lie
that
to
on a
you or
YouTube
try to
live
do that.
stream, buddy. Stop.
Oh,
don't-
we're on live stream?
Yeah.
This room is literally called
Oh my
This Is
God.
a Stream.
I did not use any gamer words. I apologize.
So what was Esso saying again? Remind me real quick. What was Esso saying again, or rewind it or something?
I can't rewind it. It's glitched.
He was talking about how people were calling you out about mirroring the live stream.
So yeah, like he had a raid going on in his server, and I was like, okay, if you're gonna raid my video, whatever. But then people were going into the chat room and saying like, he never said this was a debate, and I would respond to it, and people were like massively upvoting those comments as much as they were downvoting my video. So it was a raid going on. So I was like, hey, if you're part of a raid, that's fine. And I also have another rule, and I've made this clear since I started arguing with people with the Zeitgeist movement who were doing the same thing. If you delete me, if you block me from your channel, I'm not going to let you comment on my channel. That's a fair thing. And since Esso's people were like, why are you deleting comments? Well, it's like, well, you should have a problem with Esso doing it. If you call Esso out for doing that, I'll let you comment on my channel. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But if you're going to defend Esso, you have to go by Esso's rules. And Esso deletes comments. That's fair. Okay. Yeah. If you're fine with Esso doing it, you should be fine with me doing it. Because remember this thing that he mentioned earlier? What was it? Deductive reasoning. If it's right for you, or if it's right for him, then it has to be right for me. So why are you getting upset about him doing it when we're not getting upset when he does it, but when I do it, oh, I'm censoring people and I'm an awful, terrible person. No, Esso has his own platforms and he can say whatever he wants and you can do it whenever you want. So
Cacti, here's the thing, right? With your extensive knowledge of every lamppost in the United States, did you share around Midnight Phantom's lore?
No one has an interest in the Midnight Phantoms. It's not like I didn't ask. I'm sorry.
That's how he tries to pick up girls. That's how he met Kira, the only one who actually wanted to know about his lamppost.
Yeah, I told her in great detail about her own lamppost. She was very impressed. It's my form of proving dominance over other males.
I know where your lamppost is. Ooh.
Hey, I know where your lamppost is. Oh, whoa.
Do you know the guaranteed anal size, LED quality?
Anyways, let's move along to this stream because we're already more than 2 hours in.
Well, hey, he said that if he wanted to provide full context, it would take him 2 hours. So
that is true. You know, I didn't know what the fuck was going. Oh, sorry, I didn't know what the gamer was going on here.
Oh, we got a super chat. Hold on. Go on. Come on, super chat. Say it. Because I forgot that it speaks it out loud.
You've got mail.
Here we go.
Accurately stating Discord Black Ops happened, Jim. How dare you? Shiny also DID and do nothing. Shiny was adorable.
Right, moving along.
Cacti, we're gonna have to ask you to shut the fuck up, otherwise we're gonna continue this stream on. So, thank you, Cacti.
Ooh.
Went onto Twitter and started dog whistling to his Marxist buddies for them to share the video around to try and get their audience to like it. He also has friends
I just said,
an alt in my server taking screenshots I and other people say out of...
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not even on an alt. I'm just in there.
No, hold on. I'm gonna drop a big bomb here. I'm gonna drop the bomb. Is everyone ready for the bomb? Mm-hmm. The person who takes screenshots. The person who takes screenshots is Dapper.
But look, the other thing was like I did not tell everybody, hey, dog whistle. I didn't say that. whatever. I don't know how you would dog whistle to a Marxist. But anyways, yeah, like he doesn't even know what dog whistling is. All I said was, hey, if you like my video is currently being rated by Esso's friends and Esso. Do me a favor, if you like the video, give it a like to show it some love, to help counterbalance it. If you didn't like the video, right, you would assume that I would say, go to my video and dislike it, which I've been fine. But Esso's friends were rating it. He admitted it in his live stream that happened in April. Moving along.
Wait, can I suggest a counter this?
No,
Don't raid him, but just go send a bunch of likes to his channel.
It was me, SO. It was me all along. I fooled everyone. Even our own mods were fooled.
I am the reason
Context
your
and then
channel
using
grew
them
100
to lie
subscribers
about
last
me
night.
and the people that I associate with, which, if you don't recognize this is a classic
You see
stalker
my power
tactic
now?
of trying to make someone feel...
Jim, it's a classic stalker tactic.
What does he know about having a stalker? Honestly,
Oh, he-
he doesn't.
oh, no,
He had to
no,
make up his
actually,
own goddamn stalker.
Yeah, he made up his S the 45.
You all have a good night. Satan bless, and if you're Christian, God bless. See you later.
Hail
Hi,
Satan.
Kathy.
So that was,
Right
the,
along.
that was the man who supposedly doxed Midnight's family. I add supposedly
Allegedly.
because he didn't. Anyway.
could be against them. It's intended to try and get the targeted person to isolate themselves, which is what people like Jim seek to do. But you'll notice that in some of his recent streams or videos and the things that
didn't
he
he
said
say
on
he wanted
social
people to
media,
not associate with you? So
Yeah.
he's trying to isolate you, so it's a classic stalker tactic, question mark.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, he's only upset that I'm doing any of this stuff because my intention is to get people to stop associating with him. That's wrong. But everybody should stop associating me. That's okay. Because, again, what's okay for SO is not okay for anyone else. It's okay to dox Dapperton's kid.
Told him he was a special boy. He's a special boy, dude.
He's a special boy.
He got good grades. Well, he didn't, but you know.
Oh, his girlfriend in Canada.
He got the gold star.
I don't know what that means. Anyways, moving right along.
He seems to be suggesting at this point all of what he's doing is just in a desperate attempt to try and get me to make a response to him. As a result,
You made one. And as a result, you made one. Good job.
Responding to nothing. He's responding to the air, literally.
He responded to literally nothing.
Yeah, I haven't said. Yeah, I have not said anything in the longest time. The only thing that you could say that I said was FNet is vaporware because it's vaporware. It's never coming out.
Like, this video wouldn't even make sense if it was directed at me. I'm the only one who even sometimes talks about him.
He has talked more about Blue and Dapperton and you than he's talked about me in a video about me. This is
Jim,
par for the course of his regular videos too, but either way.
Jim, I mean, let's just be fair. My content is far more entertaining than yours, so I can't blame him.
Oh my gosh, this is Jim's channel. Stop bullying him.
You only think that because of what you review.
Shut up. Disgusting. How dare you?
Moving along.
I funded that.
become increasingly desperate to where he's now openly engaging in defamation by trying to claim I'm a pedophile.
What?
Yes,
Where?
I brought up the D word because that's what this is. As in, if I were to actually file a defamation suit against Jim...
Actually,
you wouldn't win because you've lost nothing.
Yeah,
no
and
thing.
there's nowhere saying that nowhere where I'm saying that you're a pedophile.
No, but even if you did, Jim, consider the fact. Consider that his previous deviant art, so on and so forth, included characters that were down at the age of 6. It's not.
Yeah, and I said, all I said was he has drawn furry lolly art, vor art, which is sexual. Vor is a sexual fetish. It is inherently sexual fetish.
And he even had to admit it.
Yes, and he's even there's even like RPs that you can read that are explicitly sexual that he has written about lolly characters and tales and all these other stuff. And that's all I said was it's creepy. I didn't say he was a pedophile. I just said that was a thing that happened.
But the thing is, like, even if you were to say he was a pedophile, unless you're claiming he's engaging in IRL pedophilic actions with minors, which is a crime that you would be accusing him of, this wouldn't go anywhere in court. There's no monetary value that can be lost or that can be demonstrated, and it's not an accusation of a crime.
Mm-hmm. And further, let's just say that I don't think any of us here actually think that Midnight is a...
Even kids would know to run away from him, okay? Like, he's not going to touch any children.
The thing is, children have standards too?
I don't think anyone's,
No, but
anyone's
I mainly
accusing him
came
of this.
back to say, what a degenerate. He can't even recognize the superiority of short stack. Like, what?
What?
Cacti,
What?
this
What is short
why-
stack?
Short stack is short girls with large assets.
Oh, I
Cacti,
see.
please leave again.
yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would most definitely win because he has absolutely no evidence to
No, you
base this.
wouldn't.
Actually,
Because there's no,
No, because-
demonstration of loss, and it's not an accusation of a heinous crime, so it wouldn't.
And I didn't say that he was a pedophile. I mean, why don't you show a screenshot, even if it's fake? Just show a screenshot of me saying that you're a pedophile.
There are things like libel and slander and so on. It doesn't need to be evidence of the thing. It needs to be evidence of a reasonable assumption.
Yeah.
Of which his deviant art would be a reasonable assumption. But I still don't think that he is actually a nonce because
I don't either. And I've made this very clear. I don't think he's a pedophile. I just think he's a gross person.
I
I
think
correct
he's a
people
weirdo.
on it all the time. I had to I got in a mini argument with Voltaire because Voltaire was using someone else's tweets to very heavily insinuate it, and I was like, dude, it just doesn't construct anything. Like, why would you do that?
And by the way, he was going on about how Michelle Caitlin was a pedophile because she had like gotten lewds from someone who was 16 and was like, that's pedophile, and made multiple videos about like how this is proof that she's a pedophile. And then a week later, the whole Cody Wilson thing happened, and he was like, oh no, 17 is well over the age of consent, or well over the age of sexual maturity. And I was just like, so we could say if it's well over, then maybe 16 would be at least just over.
Questionable, at the very least.
at least fine.
Being from
Unless you're
a
like, no, it's 16 and 11 months. Anything more than that is well over. Like, no.
Being from a country where the age of consent is 16, I mean, I hear that Michelle Catlin does this. I'm like, unfortunate, but really, I couldn't give less of a shit.
Yeah.
So
And the thing that was proven that was 12 years old was David Schrott. And by the way, I have proof that his citation was David Schrott. I have proof. So if he wants to challenge that, I'll show the proof.
Dude, shit rat doing gay ops is not something we don't.
No.
expect.
That's what shit rat and Kraut and T always does. That's their MO. Remember Pate Bin?
Cacti DM'd fucking Kraut and T because Kraut and T's trying to make a comeback, and Kraut and T actually responded. It was amazing.
Claim off of, and he's clearly just trying to repost this claim and spread the idea around to as many people as possible,
When and where?
so that people just accept it as true without critically examining the facts behind it.
We literally just said that you are not this thing. Like,
Yeah.
I go out of my way to be like, no.
No.
We have 35 dislikes. Holy fuck.
It
dude.
needs to be
Yeah.
more. 35 is not enough. Everybody should be down thumbing this freaking video.
No, I like me, and I'm keeping my thumb up.
Moving on.
Behind doing this. Jim claims he never called me a pedophile, which is just an outright lie. He claims that I drew lolly porn at one.
He did. Do we need to dig that stuff up?
Well, it wasn't that. It was
It was the picture of his
sexually
OC that he
suggestive.
engaged in role play of a sexual nature.
and sexually suggestive. Vor.
Vor is
Oh
sexual.
yeah.
I never
But no,
want to see
it's just
those
to release
again.
it as hard or something that makes you feel heavy somewhere.
Luckily, none of them are.
He did talk
explicit.
about a chemical release. Ooh, woo.
I
Yeah,
know.
but, I mean, I
Like a
should
warm
definitely
hug,
say
you
that,
know.
Luckily, none of his awful drawings are actually explicit, but they are still extremely creepy.
Yeah. Moving on.
Point in my life because I ran some fucking cringy DA account when I was in my early teens where I favorited a bunch of Vor
Up until
art.
And drew it.
Originally tried.
And
Yeah.
drew it.
And remember that this only stopped in 2017. This account's final posts were in
Prag, if you're not disliking this, you're voting for SO. You better
Yeah,
dislike
like,
this stream.
Come on, pragmatic. You dislike the video.
Dislike.
No one should ever watch a Midnight Phantom video, and that's what we're currently doing.
Yeah. Moving along.
Carrying that around as the definitive assassination of my character, but it turned out that nobody cares, not even me, because most people who
Apart from you made a
watch
whole
my
video on it where you
videos
cried about
watch
it.
my videos for the information that I'm presenting, plus quite a few people in my server share around Vorar too. And plus, everyone was a cringy teenager who had different interests at one point in their life. So if anything, it humanized me more and created a few dank memes my fan base could share around and get some joy out of. I think he was also under the impression that I try to hide this from people.
Which you did. You in the video where you
And you tried to claim it wasn't ever.
I mean, he's still not admitting to drawing it, so.
Did I hate? I hate
Sorry,
it all. So in the video where he's like, I hope this would never come up, but I knew it eventually would. Like, no, you were trying to hide it from people. You didn't want people seeing this. Why, like, well, I just embraced it. No, you didn't, you lying little shit. Stop hiding.
Yeah, and during that whole thing, he tried to claim that it was never linked to his YouTube channel when it was explicitly linked. He would use his own videos as sources on arguments on DA, and when someone called him out and was like, who the hell is this person? Why are you linking them? He's like, oh, that's me. Good job.
Not really. I don't care whether or not people know that this happened, because this happened when I was between the ages of 14 and 17, and I'm not in my early to mid-teens now. So
17 is not mid-teens.
Why did I change my name and largely disassociate? Well, Godoy, I don't want the same keywords used to search up an essay I make about a serious political issue, which I actually want people to take into consideration, to be associated with some angsty cringe fest from my youth.
Okay, pause for a second. I don't try to hide this stuff. But I do want this disassociated, so I'm going to do everything I can to disassociate it. And Jim's evil for linking it back to me again. Imagine being this person. And by the way, Dapperton's right. If you go onto his server and you mention Midnight Phantom, he will delete it and threaten you.
Dude, that's how much of an effect I have, dude. I'm basically the equivalent of a Counter-Strike team losing to Greyhound.
Midnight Phantom with an F. Google
and
it.
In my DMs, tried to convince me to stop using the Midnight Phantom memes, by being like, yeah, haha, I think it's funny too. And then it promptly got pissed off at me about it. Like, it was hilarious, the shift when he realized I wasn't buying it and I didn't care what he thought about it.
Yep.
It was great, dude.
Onward.
I'm just so glad that we got him to say, take those whiskey reviews down right now. Dude.
Optics. Which is why he presumably had to start lying about what I actually posted or favorited, which, just like everything else Jim has claimed or done so far, I think should go without saying that it's not so surprisingly untrue, or...
You got a citation on that? Because we have a citation on it being true.
I just like
archives.
For a second. I don't know why he has to make this crying video about all this when we literally sit here casually, like we didn't plan anything. We just jumped onto a stream because we thought it'd be funny, and there is no conflict of anything we're saying. They're all like if we all remember the same events, why does no one remember the events in the way you say they happened? Why does when I ask Voltaire about what happened in your server with Boot, he's like, yeah, no, that was total shit. Yeah, no, you're right, Prometheum. Like, I just...
No, he has to remember who you are every time. That's the funniest shit.
Dude, I hate it when Voltaire... I hate meeting Voltaire for the first time, the 7th time, dude. I like the guy with the Raiden profile, and I'm like... Voltaire...
Voltaire's my bro, though.
He's so dumb, but we love him.
He's not dumb. He's just very socially inept.
Yes. And
he's a smart guy. He's very well read, but at the same time...
I'll stop picking on him when he tells his mom he loves her. Sorry, go ahead.
He has the memory of a goldfish with Alzheimer's. Like, Anyway.
Or dishonest. He really is just a fucking liar who makes shit up as he goes and will say or do anything just to try and achieve a perceived goal. This, by definition, would make Jim a clinical psychopath.
Okay, what goal?
Just lying? Is that enough?
I can see pieces of this, was it Infinity War, blaring in through my window from the location where Esso allegedly lives. The projection is insane. Carry on.
While we're on this note, somebody by the name of Michelle Caitlin made a few videos about the feud back in 2018 where they largely tried to assassinate my character by engaging in similar disingenuous tactics to what Jim was, which naturally brought them to Jim's attention, and Jim felt like it was in his interest to uncritically defend them because they'd attacked the character of the evil Snow Fox as well. Well, it turned out
I brought her into the server. Yeah. I was really nervous because, I was like, I don't know. I never talked to them, but I know they're in this old server I was in, so I DM'd them just to see if they'd respond. And
we messaged Catherine.
Hold on. But I know he's going to say something, but go on.
I don't know. We thought the Caitlin's video was great.
Hilarious.
Caitlin didn't actually realize how big of a fucking bombshell she'd found with the Midnight Fandom thing. She thought she just found some cringe.
Yeah.
We found the juice. We found the
and for the record, she reached out to me to be on her live stream. Not the other way around. She reached out to me because she knew that I was the or what did she say? The esoteric historian. So
I sent you a DM. Just check it so you can decide how you want to proceed with that.
A few months later, that Michelle Caitlin was exposed soliciting nudes from children as young as 13 years old over Discord and tried to use them to intimidate these kids into encouraging more exploitative behaviors out of them, which I thought was just hilarious because here was this person drama.
So
wait, what did he
defend? Hold on, sorry, it's trying to manipulate them into giving Caitlin looms or whatever. So does he not realize that this is exactly what he tried to do with Boot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even though Boot was just catfishing him into saying some dumb shit, is this man a walking cinema? Is my main.
Wait, did he say anything about what the fuck is his name? Why is it escaping me right now? Because I was handling other things. Fucking David Sherratt yet? Have you heard anything about Sherratt? Okay, we're waiting for that. Okay.
Whoring and trying to make similar accusations towards other people of what they themselves are actually guilty of. Well, Jim, being the shitfucker that he is, started trying to do damage control for Michelle Caitlin.
I don't care about Michelle Caitlin. I have issues with her, by the way.
Arguments seeming to work on kettle logic. The screenshots were fake, which is really hilarious coming from him, because one of the people who happened to share the...
Which screenshots?
Let him go. Let him go. I already know where this is going.
Screenshots on Twitter was David Sherratt, even though he is not the source of the screenshot.
Perfect. Pause the video. Stop real quick. So, this is the video of Esso, and it's on his channel right here, where he's saying that the proof of him doing stuff with 12-year-olds didn't come from David Sherratt. Well, let's click his sources. Who is Discord spies? Oh, that just happens to be David Sherratt linking those things. There you go. Moving along. Go ahead.
Oof.
There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead and spew. Go more, lie some more, bitch.
They really weren't that young. They could consent. It's not weird to be getting sexual pleasure from
Never said that.
13-year-old nudes. Fucking really, Jim? Really? You're going to call me a pedophile based on absolutely nothing or horrifically distorting the context of things which I've said on YouTube or elsewhere to where it doesn't even resemble my original statement, like in my video
I wanna actually just throw out a devil's advocate thing here. Even if we take Midnight Story at the totally right, the things he was taking interest in were 6. That's still weird.
Yeah, because I looked
Like-
up the average height, and they were like 3 feet, dude.
Hold on, no, even that, like tails, right? 6. So like,
That's true.
think
Okay,
about-
so here's what happened. I was not defending like Michelle Caitlin going after 12 years old. I was saying those were bogus. The ones that were quote unquote true was that she was engaged in some sort of dialogue with someone who was 16. Whether or not she knew that that person was 16 is beyond me. I don't know. There's no real substantial evidence. The other person involved in this thing is batshit crazy, so X to doubt. But even still, in her state, 16 is legal. He says that even though that, and when I asked him about this, I said, hey, you said that she was a pedo. One of your sources, not both, one of your sources was a person saying that they were 16 years old. A week later, you made a video defending Cody, God, what is his name? Cody from Defense Distributed, saying that 17 is well over the age of consent. So which is it? Is 16 pedophilia or not? You can't have it both ways to say that it's pedophilia for one person but not the other. Again, back to deductive reasoning. Is it okay? It should be okay for one person if it's not okay for another. This is ethics according to him. Now, what were you going to say?
Still, I even then, currently what he's doing is like, so you defend, even in the world he's portraying, you defended someone saying that 13-year-olds are okay. So how are you going to criticize me for liking drawn 6-year-olds? It's like, no, even if Jim was wrong here, you're still a weirdo.
Mm-hmm. And I never said he was a pedophile. By the way, if I was trying to say that he was a pedophile and I was going around telling people he was a pedophile, why would I then deny that he's a pedophile?
Yeah, no,
if my claim is that he's a pedophile and I have all this proof that he's a pedophile, why would I all of a sudden be like, oh, I don't know. No, he's not a pedophile. I never said that. I didn't say that because I don't think it's true.
They're doing like daily announcements. Reminder that esoteric entity is still not a pedophile as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, no, there we go.
I feel like we need to like have shirts that say like Midnight Fandom is not a nonce. And if we don't have those midnights, we're like, well, they're accusing me of. It's like, no, we're not. We're accusing you of being a weirdo.
Literally had to at entire servers before to say I don't think that Esso's a pedo in order for some of his friends to stop freaking out at me.
This deductive reasoning he's talking about, I don't think it's the same thing that we're talking about when we talk about deductive reasoning. Usually it's kind of working through the reasoning of things and trying to understand whether or not things are true based on a priori and a posteriori, evidence. What is he? I'll just make shit up. That's logic. That's logistics.
It's logistics.
Because, logistics, logic is just short for logistics, according to SO.
Oh, I hate that so much, dude. Okay.
If you go look at some of his old videos, he'd be like, we could work through the logistics of this thing. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, does a priori reasoning have a P.O. box somewhere?
Think about that, dude. So he uses logistics, even though the normal would be logic, right? In his mind, right? He likes using the longer word. He just likes using long words.
Yes.
Pretty much it.
Have been guilty of the charges he was accused of, and I pointed out that the age of consent in the state of Texas was 17, while the arrest warrant claimed the girl Cody Wilson was with was 17. He actually used the fact that I made this point to try and argue that I'm a pedophile before.
Okay.
No, that's not. I just explained what it was. I didn't say that that's proof he's a pedophile. I said... I didn't say that was proof anyone was a pedophile. I was saying that if you're going to make the claim that Michelle Caitlin is a pedophile for hitting on 16-year-olds and say that Cody Wilson's not a pedophile because 17 is well over the age of
Also,
sexual maturity, these are conflicting statements.
Didn't he also bash on Dapperton for doing
the exact same thing? Yes.
He just threw out the fine definitions like hebophilia, pedophile,
right.
And then I forget what the other ones were. But
need to clarify that the age of consent isn't the same as like the age at which you can do sex work type. Like even if you're like, haha, I'm in Pakistan where the age of consent is 9, so my 9-year-old lewds are totally fine. Like, no, they'd still be like, no, that's
Still
not how that
gross,
works. That's no, you're still going in the box. Why? Because that's not the same thing, and the same goes for hiring someone to do the thing.
Yep. Which, by the way, Cody Wilson, that whole thing was just a bunch of garbage. Like, she had a fake ID that says that she was 18.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, he was tricked, and he ended up taking a plea deal, which sucks.
That's pretty. Yeah.
Expecting people to be psychic is bullshit.
Right. It's stupid. Yeah, Cody's a great guy. I don't post it. I'm not going to say a mean thing about him. I don't think there's a mean bone in his body or evil bone in his body. But sure. The only point that I was making was, if you're going to say someone is well over the age of sexual maturity, and that age is 17, then we have to deduce that well over would, that 16 would be at least over. So if you're going to say that she's a pedophile for 16, but not a pedophile for 17, and you're using the terms well over, you something's wrong here. That's what I was pointing out. And it took us, 20 minutes for him to understand the point that I was making? Like, it took 3 people to go, no, stop. Forget about David Schrett. We're talking about this particular claim. We can go into that one in a bit later, but let's just talk about this. And it took 20 minutes for him to at least wrap his head around what we were saying.
Sure. But, I mean, even though I should clarify that being Jeff Epstein and hiring women under the age to do certain things isn't okay, even if the government comes along and says, hey, we're Pakistan.
I agree.
You can do whatever you like to people who are 9. It's like, no,
I
it's
agree.
Still a terrible thing. Don't do it.
I agree.
Anyway, continuing with Midnight Phantom.
Meanwhile, here he is claiming that it's not weird to masturbate to pictures of 13-year-old boys and use them as revenge porn. Yeah, okay.
Never said it. Moving along.
Could you imagine if I had said something even remotely approaching that? Oh, I'd never hear the end of it from...
I would never hear the end of it either, and I haven't even heard the start of it until right now.
Hold on. Midnight Phantom, you did. Consider Tale.
Yeah.
What was I can't remember what the exact quote was, but something like, have you eaten anyone else? It's like, I'm not ready to remember that, actually. I'm not ready.
All right.
What was the one with like
whatever.
Sonic and like the barn or whatever? Right?
Yeah, the RP, the text RP. Yeah. So, anyways, long story short, he's not even showing like any screenshots or anything. So, X'd out.
Can you imagine if I did this thing that I did? Like,
I would not hear the end of it either if I said something like that. Which is why I've never heard the start of it, because I never said that. So, anyways, moving along.
Jim, and that would likely be the end of my ability to make videos on YouTube, and understandably so, because it's a pretty.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna make this video proving that he said that, or that he linked David Schrett public now, because I was waiting for him to publicly say something about that, so I can just be like, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh.
Disgusting thing to say, but isn't it really interesting how when it comes to Jim or something which Jim is defending, the burden of proof is so expansive that you literally could have a screenshot of him saying that he did it, and it's not enough to
but you
because it's a joke if you ever said it.
No, I want to hold on. Even if if let's say we get him, Jim, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Jim is gone. In the same breath, Midnight would be in the same boat, because I don't care when you did it, Midnight. Talking about your weird, lewd fantasies, of which you have drawn or engaged in, the RP of, and then further drawn very strange images of characters like Tails or other 2-foot characters. Like, if you're gonna throw Jim in the box for this fictitious crime, that is, congratulations, you're in the same box.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm from earlier in the video, you may remember, he may enjoy if he gets a few minutes alone.
prove that he did it. And when it comes to a person or subject he doesn't like or is attempting to argue against, suddenly not doing anything becomes proof that they engaged in some sort of nefarious behavior because of some implicit message that doesn't actually exist or which he just made up on the spot. Almost like he's so full of fucking shit that every time he opens his mouth it may as well just be an explosion of diarrhea flying everywhere. Again, to clarify, I have no intention of filing a defamation suit. I made this video
because you'd fail.
Yeah.
It's
the baseball bat plan would also fail.
Yeah. Like,
Why would he use a baseball bat when he's like claiming that he's selling like gun parts or something to the government because he has so many of them?
Yeah, he was saying that he could fucking beat the shit out of the lead singer of was it not suicidal tendencies, social distortion.
Shiny, remember, he's saying that he's 3D printing.
That's what it was.
Selling them back to his state, making money.
X'd out bump stocks, yeah. 3D printing bump stocks and selling them to the state, and that's his job. By the way, I don't know if this is true, but someone told me that he was saying something about like libertarians should collect welfare when he was on Twitter.
Yeah, he did it
to end the state.
He had it in I think it was in like counter economic video where he was saying that to actually like apply for like welfare and various other things to basically
life tip,
disenfranchise the state.
Even if you're financially screwed, don't take welfare. That is a horrible life to live. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I see how I know how that train wreck ends, and
they make it very difficult to get out of welfare.
Right. So I should probably do a video about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Are we moving on, legend? This is a rebellion. We're not moving on, Jim.
Move on.
Specifically to expose the absolutely filthy things you're doing to other content creators on this platform to the light of day.
Who? His other content creators, Jim.
We know that's what his point was. We just said that was his point, Agents 47. Are you stupid? We just said that was his point in taking welfare. Did you not hear the words that came out of our mouths? Are you really that stupid? How can we take someone out of context and then provide the exact same context that we just provided? It's like, I live in an apartment because I just don't want to deal with renting houses. And then someone goes like, Jim said he rents apartments because he doesn't like to deal with, fixing houses. And then I'm like, how dare you take me out of context? I said I like to rent houses not because of that, but because I don't like to deal with house fixing. It's like, it's literally what we just said. Thank you for contributing nothing. Moving along. This is his audience, by the way. They're fucking retarded. Go ahead. Jesus Christ!
Beautiful outburst. Thank you for that.
Okay, that one really warms my heart.
Yeah.
Imagine
being this person exactly.
Okay, so actually, I want to take a slight detour. So let's just take this. Let's run with it. Okay. So argument was to deprive the state of income, right? Okay.
Is that not what I said?
No, that is exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said. It's probably verbatim.
Yeah, but
probably verbatim.
I said that it was in his video of counter economics that to apply for welfare because it would deprive the state.
Yes.
I got a little tongue twisted, but that's where.
And what he said was his argument was to do it to deprive the state of income, almost verbatim.
Even then,
anyways,
it's just
moving along.
Yes,
moving along.
I said it completely out of context.
Oh, dude, amazing. Okay, right, let's continue. I was gonna actually, consider talking about that.
But Jim, Agent 47's argument was that his argument was to deprive the state of income. Good job taking them out of context.
Jim, Jim, so that I not only can attempt to satisfy myself and hope to get back to uploading more often and back to a state where I don't feel as much weight on my conscience, while I could sleep easier at
You should have more of a weight on your conscience, Midnight. You've just lied about a man.
Yeah, you just told your audience that I said it's okay to jerk off to 13-year-olds with no evidence. And demonstrably, as I've shown, your video links to David Sherratt as a source for the claim that he was that Michelle Caitlin was hitting on 13-year-olds.
Imagine taking shit rat seriously.
I just showed it to you. It's right there. It's on his video. Further proof that Michelle Caitlin is soliciting CP. Look at the description. Link. David Sherratt. Moving along.
Dude, I love it so much.
Jesus.
Trollbug points out, being dependent on the state is the best way to wipe out the state.
No, that's
Right.
It's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
Well, yeah, and you know, remember, the same thing in the counter economics video is to try and stay off the state's radar. Congratulations, you're putting yourself on the state's radar by submitting yourself to welfare. Good job.
Where they're going to have to come in and do evaluations to make sure that you're actually unemployed. And
I don't get how you can actually be this person, because even if they ran out of money, what would they do? They'd either print more money or tax people more. It's not like they're suddenly like, oh, we no longer exist because we ran out of money. It's like, that's just not gonna happen.
Or they'll take it out of some other fund.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Night, knowing that more people know who you really are, but also so I
mean, again,
oh my gosh,
just not true.
Can effectively expose you for the
agent. Just shut up. You're being absolutely retarded right now. You're trying to like debunk what we're saying, but you're just agreeing with our interpretation of what SO said.
I don't get it.
Do me a favor. Rewind the video 10 minutes and watch it again, and you can hear him saying exactly what you're saying.
Jim.
Jesus. Oh my God. Moving on. Go on. Move along.
Jim,
he's not even worth the effort. He's really this stupid.
Jim, does what I just said not directly address that statement even?
Yes, you did.
I just
finished talking about this.
Okay, continue.
Jesus Christ, what a fucking retard.
Weaselly, conniving, disgusting, psychopathic fucking scum that you are. I'm not even the first...
Imagine being this person. Imagine being these people.
Did I hear a little bit of Midnight Phantom coming out there, though?
Yes, you did.
Dude, I heard it.
Less esoteric entity, more Midnight Phantom. That is what the world wants, and that's the world needs. Anyways, let's wrap this up, because we've been doing this for almost going on 3 hours now.
I think for the end.
Yeah.
Person he's obsessed over before either. I seem to be the first person he's obsessed over to where what he's doing can accurately be described as harassment, but before I started making videos, he was...
Doesn't talk about you in 3 months.
Harassing.
That's
going crazy over Shane for refuting consequential...
I haven't talked about Shane. Ugh. And I mean, I haven't. Okay, so I did a video where I talked about the non-aggression principle, and I talked about his version of it, but I wasn't like Shane is a terrible, awful person and blah blah blah. No, I was like, here's his argument. This is the argument that most of the the cartoon ANCAPs talk about. So we might as well bring up this particular version since we're going through the non-aggression principle, right? Like if I disagreed with something and there was like 5 different versions of it that I'm aware of, I'm going to go after all of them, even if it's someone that I've had beef with in the past. I went after Molyneux too in that video. I wasn't like picking on Shane. And I even said in the video, I'm not picking on Shane.
I feel as if that was the one you were most charitable toward anyway, and your criticisms of the most but
oh man, with the penis is going to do his flagpole comic. Oh
no.
Are you seeing my DMs right now?
This is going to be the only time I'm ever going to fap to your artwork. I'm not gonna.
humans.
It's impossible
And before
to fact anything
Shane, he
else.
was nutting over Molyneux. By the way, beyond this video, Jim, you will never be mentioned on my channel again. I know how obsessive psychopaths
that'd
like
be a
you
fuck
work.
Great.
If I give you an inch,
Perfect.
you'll take a mile.
Shut the fuck
and
up
given
about
that
me.
you're doxing and trying to convince people I'm a pedophile just to get me to acknowledge your position in some debate, I genuinely wouldn't.
I
put
don't
it
wanna
past
debate
you
him.
to escalate to where you're sending mail bombs to my house, or you're coming over to my house in real life and parking
Oh my
outside of my
God.
house for multiple days at a time. In fact, I
Wait, no,
What-
he's
what?
the one that threatened to come to your house.
Yeah, he just threatened to come to my house, and then he's like, "I don't want him to come to my house." Like, well, I thought you were going to come over to my house with a baseball bat. Are you not coming over now?
When are you guys gonna
All
have
right.
your hate sex? Like, this
I'll
is a
call
really
Subway and
sloppily
cancel the
planned
fucking
date.
catering. Like, fucking Christ. Moving along.
He really is your needy girlfriend.
Right?
had to debate with myself for a very long time as to whether or not I should even be making this video, in the fear that
No,
You shouldn't. You shouldn't have.
you'd
No, that was a
interpret
bad.
this
That was a
as
bad
some
move.
form of validation for your shitty behavior and would cause this harassment.
It's validation because you keep lying. You just keep lying about everyone who even comes close to disagreeing with you. Like, I just don't get it. Why are you doing this to yourself? Anything to add, Jim?
That's it. I mean, like he was just
get
saying
even
that
worse.
that I think it's okay to masturbate to simulated child pornography.
That's
Where?
a nice little
When
statement.
did I ever say this? Citation need. By the way, everything that we've claimed, we've been like, here's where you can find information about that. Here's someone arguing for this. Here's his video where he's linking to this. Like, I've been trying to show as much as we can. And by the way, he has shown
Encyclopedia Dramatica's down today
nothing.
for 3 days.
Oh, wait, esotericentity.com is down today? That's
No,
a bummer.
Encyclopedia-
Right, esotericentity.com is down today? That's a bummer.
Yeah. It's been down for the better part of the week, I think.
Which was on, is it filthyheretic.com?
Oh, are you from Australia?
Ah,
That's
dude.
clever. That's clever. Okay. If you're reading the chat, you'll see. Anyways, go on.
Okay.
Escalation, which Jim's already showing me, tells me that I can't just ignore him and hope that he goes away, because it's
I went
only
away.
going to get worse.
I went away.
Jim didn't talk about you for months. Why? What's wrong?
I went away. What more do you want? I went away.
Jim,
Go ahead,
I told
sorry.
you it doesn't work. I told you.
Yeah, I
to
did.
do it.
Jim must be nice for
Maintain
get
the-
Esso's mind rent free.
Right?
Dude, like everyone, all of your friends were like, come back to the peaceful village, brother. They won't. harass
We
you here."
we
And I
don't
was-
we don't know what triggered this. He said recent events, and he never mentioned one. Like, not even a fake one. He just said recent events has sparked this
He-
video.
I
What
tell you
what recent
But
event?
his idea of recent is weird because remember, he thinks that
Oh,
future
yeah.
events cause past events.
Right, right.
Like,
So we need to
no.
explain this again. He thinks that something that happened in April, which was him saying that sexual fetishes aren't inherently sexual, was the reason why something that happened in the January of this year that's what caused it. But what really happened was something that happened a week before. Like this is Esso saying this in his video. Anyways, going along.
Okay, but God, I just
Oh, I need to type this out one more time. Midnight Phantom is not a pedophile. Carry on.
yeah, no, I agree.
Really got to emphasize on that.
But I don't know why. It hurts my soul every time he does this to himself. But yeah, again, all your friends will bring you into the village, telling you, you can come home. He won't follow you into the village. And I was sat on my war horse, my sword, and I was like, bro, he will never let it rest. Come to war. And you went to the damn village, Jim. You went to the damn village.
Yeah, like what was it? Was it Godfather? I tried to leave, but they keep soaking me in.
Exactly, dude.
But yeah, we're past the point of debate, Jim. That ship sailed a while ago. And with just what you've done in the last 2 years on YouTube, particularly since about summer 2018, there's nothing you can ever do to change that. Literally just
I didn't ask for a debate.
Your name at this point fills me with existential dread, because I know that...
Oh my god. Oh my god. What was it? I think it was like, what, February or something like that? Hoplu was like, can we guys at least get you guys to like talk or maybe do a debate or something? And I was like, sure, whatever. And then a whole bunch of other crap happened, and I was like, screw this guy. I don't even want to fucking talk to this guy. This guy's human filth. And like a month later, he comes back and he goes, oh, I got him to say, like, agree to it. And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm just done. No. And he was like, all right, I'll go tell him no. So Hoplu can confirm this is garbage, and I'm not interested in having a debate with him. So anyways, moving on. And he, by the way, he knows this because Hoplu told him, Jim doesn't want to debate you.
Anything it's attached to is going to be more weight on my shoulders. I will probably despise you and want nothing to do with you until the day you die, and likely after that. If all you wanted, Jim, was to have a little disagreement and debate about the things we disputed on, I genuinely wouldn't care. It might have even entertained that, which at this point, it...
That was how it started, Midnight.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah, he kept refusing a debate all the times that I wanted to debate, and it's been at least 6 months since I was like, screw this, I'm over it.
Yeah, there's a certain limit to how much you can lie about a man before he's like, yeah, no, I don't care about arguing with you anymore. You're just a bad.
I have a
really
good
just seems like you're engaging in fallacious reasoning and trying to misrepresent my actual positions when you address them, because you've developed some sort of contrarian attitude towards anything I present, where it has to be wrong because I said it. But with his attempts to divide libertarian circles through manufacturing internal drama...
It's not wrong because he said it. He said it because it's wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
I think man with a penis got me wrong. I didn't mean dislike Midnight's video. No. Don't like Midnight's video.
We're not saying to go over there. I want to make this clear. Do not go to Esoteric Entity's video and do anything. Whatever. If you want to watch it, go ahead. If you want to watch it in its entirety, by all means.
We want you to dislike
We're saying
this.
We want you to dislike this stream. That's what we're saying.
Because no one should ever like anything to do with Midnight Phantom. Never mind people watching the damn video. Like,
oh my gosh! So I mentioned LJL was in my DMs. He just freaked out at me about this stream.
That's exactly what Esso was saying. Like he wants to sue me for accusing me of calling him a pedo, and then he calls me a pedo, and retarded. And he goes, "How dare he say this about me, though?" Again, imagine being this person. Go on.
Dude, we're gonna get to 50 dislikes before the stream ends, dude.
That's not enough. We need more.
We need 100, dude. Let's go. Oh god.
If this doesn't reach 100 dislike by the time I go to sleep tomorrow night, I'm gonna be very upset.
We will
start the damn video. Get the hate mob for us, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he will more than likely hilariously attempt to accuse me of trying to spark conflict and defaming him by making this video.
You just started talking shit about Jim, who hasn't talked about you in like 3 months. What's wrong with you? What do you have, bro?
Imagine. By the way, he said that it was caused by recent events. He hasn't even stated a false reason or a true reason. Anything. He just said recent events. Okay. What recent events? What recent events are these? So I can determine whether or not they're true or false. The only thing that I've said recently about, and it's in quotation marks, him, is I said that FNet is vaporware. Because it's vaporware.
I love this, dude.
And it's not because
main tactics he seems to be fond of are gaslighting and projection. All I'll say on that, Jim,
What?
Wait. Is he accusing me of gaslighting him?
Gaslighting.
Wait. So he's saying that I drove him crazy. That's what he's saying. When you say that like someone is gaslighting you, that means that you are crazy as a result of that person's action. So I'm driving him crazy by not mentioning him for 3 months. Great. And he's threatening to come over to my house with a baseball bat. What should that tell someone who's using deductive reasoning? If I don't talk about someone, they want to come over to my house and beat me with the baseball bat. Maybe I should start talking about them again.
I love it.
Carry on.
I love it.
That a goal of yours is to make libertarianism associated with consequentialism in mainstream discourse rather than natural law theory. Well,
Then, wait, no, hold on. Then why would he have me and Toast on all the time?
Yeah. Like why is Shiny and Prom on my stream right now if like I'm going to hate anybody who even mentions the nap? Because these people are naptards. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, we even dragged Jim to the final rail cart of he just needs to jump into the fire now. Come on, Jim. Come on, one of us. One of us. Come on. Okay.
Moving along.
But no, Jim just hates all deontologists. Well, you know,
I want them all to die. I'm going to wait outside of their house in my car for multiple days. Multiple days after I dox their flagpole. Imagine being this person.
Jim, you've set quite an example for consequentialism. There's David Friedman, then there's you, the fat troglodyte who doxes people's family and slanders them to try and destroy their lives for some small political points on YouTube. Remember that every...
Okay, let's dissect this real quick. 1, Jim didn't dox your family. 2, you doxed your family on DeviantArt. 3... Jim?
Wait, I'm sorry, you cut out. What was that?
1, you didn't dox his family.
Yep.
2, he doxed his family on DeviantArt. 3, just what the fuck? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, the only person I know who has doxed Esso's family is Esso.
No one else cares enough.
No one cares. Not even me. That's why I haven't said anything for 3 months.
Yeah.
Everyone, Jim is the face of consequentialism. Anyway, I'll admit, I'm kind of...
Okay, imagine all of that stuff was true. That I doxed his family and I said like go ahead and masturbate to child porn and all this other garbage that he said, right? Now he's saying like forget David Friedman, he's the face of consequentialism. Okay. What? Remember when we were talking about remember cuz I don't understand deductive reasoning. What would we call that if we were in philosophy class learning about logic and deductive reasoning? What would we call that argument?
Logic.
I think that would be called an ad hominem. Carry on.
Jim, you're an ad homo. So
Jim, consequential is wrong because Jim is consequentialist and he's a baby raper, etc.
Your ideas are wrong because you doxed my family.
I'm kind of interested to see how this
person.
video is received. If the ratings are removed, it
was received to many a joyous laugh midnight.
By the way, here's something important. When he raids my video and down thumbs them, I don't disable dislikes and comments and all that shit. I don't. They're all there. You can see them. However, if it even gets more than like 10 down thumbs, he loses his shit and disables ratings.
Look at the live chat, dude. We have a live one. We have one that's moving still, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So John Hendon asks, "Who are you people?"
By the way, here's a serious question. Since Esso likes to delete comments on his videos, and Esso's fans are here and they're okay with that, do you think they would be okay with me deleting them from the chat room? I'm not going to. I'm not going to, but just theoretically speaking, do you think that they would be okay with that? Because as we've talked about with deductive reasoning, if it's okay for ESO to do it, it should be okay for me to do it too, right?
I think it'd be moderately rustled, but I like this guy, V3NU5. I realize it's probably meant to be Venus, but I don't care because my Steam name is 51N1573.
Can't even remember.
John Hendon, imagine a talk show with single-digit IQ hosts. And Breakfast Libertarian, our eternal hero, responds, "Shut up, one IQ, Jim." I love it. Okay.
By the way, I think that Dave Chappelle quote is fucking in handy. Like, if you do anything, and I find out about it, I'm going to take everything you have away from you.
Yeah.
Probably because Jim went and dog whistled some of his Marxist friends on Twitter, and they came and raided the video. So, yeah, don't
dog
pay too
whistled
much mind to that. But really, the point of putting this out there was more as a cry for help, because I really don't know what else to do about this. I refuse to keep living like this, just sitting here and taking this. It's the first time
sitting
I've really
here and
just,
taking
poured
nothing
my
for 3
heart out.
months.
Dude, he needs you, Jim. He needs.
Yeah.
It feels pretty deprived.
No,
He can't exist without you.
no. Like this is the only way I'll respond to this. If he makes another 30-minute long video calling me a pedophile or something like that, then I'll do another live stream. But until other than that, it's like whatever. I'm gonna go back to making videos about how Facebook is garbage and how taking welfare is a terrible, awful idea for libertarians to do.
Please, you need to, Jim. We
That's
need
thanks for that. By the way, that's a good idea for a topic for video. So thank you for suggesting that.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that saying I'm not a pedophile is exactly what a pedophile would say.
God damn it.
God damn it. Jim Jesus exposed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Jim Jesus said Esso's not a pedophile. Ergo, Jim is a pedophile. We got him.
Good job, boys.
This is some serious, awesome logistics, by the way. Thank you for contributing.
Yeah, I also just the absolute absurdity of suggesting that it's okay to like drawings of 6-year-olds because 16-year-olds exist is kind of retarded. That's like saying, it's okay to kill everyone because this one time a guy shot someone, so I'm gonna go kick that baby across the street.
You should go fucking spawn camping, dude.
Spawn camping IRL.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Hey, look, and anybody who's a fan of esoteric entity who accuses people being autistic
Our spawn camping
is amazing. You're just beautiful.
Hi, Voltaire.
Hi, Volt.
Hi, Devil. Okay. Right,
Do you remember prom?
Walter, I'm the guy with the riding profile picture. We have met before. Okay.
He doesn't just sound familiar.
So how much time we have left? I'm sure it's
out over a subject, and I gotta tell you, just writing and recording this makes me feel like a veil has just been lifted. I seriously can't even describe how much better I feel.
Like you just
getting this out there on record, finally addressing this problem, and hopefully doing something about it. If you all could comment your thoughts, maybe some support, like and share, that would all be great. Thank you all. I apologize.
Like, comment, and
if the
subscribe, guys.
personal nature of this video was a bit too cringe and off-putting for some people in my audience to get into. And more videos will be coming out shortly. Not like this, but political videos.
Oh, don't worry. Your audience is cool with cringe. We've learned that. So.
Dude, I'm so glad, sad it's over. Hi, Hoplu.
Hi, Hoplu.
Yeah, I'm making this clear. If you're gonna go over and look at the video just to watch it for yourself, go ahead. Don't do anything. Don't white knight for me. I don't care. Let him and his stupid fans be stupid. I don't really care. I really don't care.
Shiny.
The only thing that I'm telling you to do is this stream that you're watching right now.
Dislike this stream.
That is being done by Jim Jesus needs to be disliked. So. What are we at? 50 now? Like I don't know.
48 still.
48. That's
fine, I'll
unacceptable. This stream right here needs to be at least 100. Come on, man.
Yes, the one got it.
Oh, we're at 50. We're at 50. 51. Great. Yes. Keep doing that. Dude, we got it. Oh yeah, people are. I saw the up thumb go down and the down thumb go up. That is good. So we're making progress. No one should like this stream. Nobody.
Oh, dude.
So in summary,
LJL tried to plant evidence, and I was just like, probably not gonna buy it, but I guess you can send it. And then he sent me some like shock porn, and I was just like, bruh.
oh,
And then he's all like, I was planting evidence, ha! And I'm just like, yeah, I told you I wasn't gonna believe it.
yeah. Well, isn't that the guy that threatened to shoot up a school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
And threatened to kill Dapperton. But I apologize. But okay, you're still psychotic.
My advice to everyone is just block the idiot. Like, what's he gonna do without attention, dude?
I just
He
ignore
blocked
it.
me.
I just ignore it. Anytime
He
he's
got-
in a server, anytime he's in a server that I'm in, I just make it so you can't DM me. If you're,
I'm back to read a comment from your chat, but it's absolutely beautiful.
I appreciate that Venus has given us a description of Midnight Fountain.
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
about
it
to
really
say.
wasn't.
This is what happens when you survive abortion, fetal alcohol syndrome, and what does that say? Instro what? I don't
Cacti.
fucking know. I can't pronounce that because I'm
You
also
can't
brain
read
dead.
English.
serotonin.
Serotonin.
Oh my god!
I think
what's wrong
it's a
with all you?
typo.
Probably an under exaggeration. Oh, that's really mean. Thank you.
Should we look at Esso's face and compare it to pictures of key features
No, he
of
definitely has
fetal alcohol
Yeah.
syndrome? Should we do that?
Have you seen his upper lip? It's basically flat.
Yeah. That's a good sign. Beady eyes, separated apart,
Yeah.
upturned nose.
Dude,
Angry
Upvote
dude.
Gang.
Problem
Upvote
with
Gang is infinitely inferior to
long-term
Downvote.
blinking.
Yeah. And by the way, that wasn't my theory. That was people in Trudel Tom's old server before Imperius took over it. And I was like, ooh.
The fact that there's NCAP uprisings on Discord is the cringiest gay LARPer shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. So recent events, I guess, is he's upset that I haven't talked about him for 3 months. So he felt compelled to make a video about me accusing him of being a pedophile, which I didn't,
Yeah.
and dox him, which I didn't, and dox his family, which I didn't.
I bet he secretly
He had
drawled
some-
a porn of you as a child.
True
where he
twink,
beat
Tom.
you.
By the way, can we get an F in chat for True Ding Dong, please? Get an F in chat.
F-er. Let's give him a full F net.
True twink.
Double FNet.
Well, he did like vaporwave, so yeah, vaporware is a good representation of it. So yeah, F net in the chat, please. Yeah.
Let's not get off on that one. Because I swear to Christ, that shit makes me angrier than the pedophile allegations.
The F net really pisses you off that bad. It's just a bunch of people saying we're coding stuff. We swear. Okay.
Have you read the comments on this
coding.
on
But if
the
it's
actual
Wi-Fi, won't it be slow? Won't it be unstable?
Thing is, they go into fucking Word and they just type out lines. Not
In
like
Word?
Actual, they literally just
they-
type what they want to do.
They haven't even released the white paper.
Yeah, I have not been following it. The little things that I see here and there, it's like, okay, it's just a bunch of people in a Discord. There's no GitHub. There's no actual code for anything. There's no hardware, nothing.
They spend most of their time
channel,
discussing
right?
flat Earth at this point. So I don't know.
I mean, that's because they're woke on that QAnon shit, my guy.
Someone
Shut
said you should make a response to his live stream, and Midnight said, absolutely not interested, sorry, I'm not a drama
Okay.
content creator, except from the video he made was entirely drama.
Yeah, and an entire channel dedicated to drama.
So I think he's just opposing.
The Thad
Hoplu,
subscribing
are
to
you
Hoplu.
really shilling?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
You know what? I'm okay with Hoplu doing because he's
It's flat.
oh gosh. Venus is truly truly.
Wait, is someone saying that blockchain is not at all complex, or are you being sarcastic and saying that it is complex? Like what?
Slash S.
I don't know which this slash sarcasm is referring to be honest on that one.
All I've said is that blockchains aren't inherently private. There are private blockchains like Monero, but Bitcoin, every transaction you do is public record and anybody can see it. Should I do that real quick? Should we look around a little bit of my Bitcoin history? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it.
Bitcoin history.
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on a second. Oh, hold on a second. Let me pull this up real quick. Blockchain. There we are. Bam. So here is my. No, whatever. Cancel. Just minimize it. That's fine. So here's my blockchain account. This is, by the way, this is private. No one can see what's going on, but you can see every transaction that I've ever made, what time, date, amount, and the addresses sent and received to. So, and if you Google a lot of these, I know that if I go to the next page and we go FLSL, that one, you can actually Google this address. And I will link it in the description. You can Google it yourself and see who owns that account. And I'll tell you who it is right now. It's True Shibes. So if you were, say, a government agency and you had the NSA and a supercomputer to determine, like, everything that everyone's doing according to the Snowden revelations, right? Then you could probably more than find out more information about who I'm sending than just a Google search. And you can Google search and say, oh, on... let's see, on 2014, I think is that 10? Oh, so that's the date. Okay, I think that's the date. It may be backwards because it's whatever. So no. So October 25th, 2014, Jim sent 0.00166316 Bitcoin, and you could probably look at the historical charts to determine how much that was worth, to True Shibes. There you go.
You're out there. You just doxed True Shibes.
No. True Shibes puts her stuff out there, and she already doxed herself.
No. That's still doxing, Jim. Yeah. Still doxing. Even if the information is out there, Jim, it's still doxing.
Oh my God!
How dare you, Jim?
Yeah. So there you go. And by the way, this is true of Litecoin, Dogecoin, I think Ethereum. To an extent, ZenCash is the same way, unless you're using a shielded wallet, which takes there's like a minimum requirement your computer has to run, and it's constantly like encrypting and decrypting things in order for you to have a shielded wallet to make sure that all your transactions are private. But otherwise, you can have any other account and any other form of hardware and have a wallet that's you can see everything. Nope.
Essentially say hello to
I'm not LARPing NCAP either.
Dude, cryptos are so
Libra's a blockchain? Libra is a blockchain? Is it a blockchain? Is it a blockchain?
Dude, I'm just Libra? I couldn't be less interested in
the Libra blockchain. Dude. Well, according to Libra, it's a blockchain, unless they're wrong.
Like if I wanna have businesses not know where I am, I just use cash.
Yeah, that's the best way. That's why most drug dealers deal in cash.
Dude, let me just go out there, fucking credit, just fucking. What's your bank details?
What? No one's saying anything about the complexity of blockchain. No one is saying that. I think maybe Esso said something like that. He made a video talking about how complex the encryption was, and was like there's no way that the government can trace your transactions through this. And I'm like, dude, just go to blockchain. Go to the blockchain website. Or go to any Bitcoin block explorer, and you could see everything. public.
It's
there it is.
genuine.
And you can Google all the addresses, and sometimes you'll find hits. Like, you'll find that I was giving money to the Anarcho Yakitalist podcast, to the Freedom Fiends. I was giving money to... I think I gave like 1 Satoshi to Molyneux. I might be wrong about that. No, that was someone else that did that. I gave him 2 actual cents on PayPal. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, complexity has nothing to do with whether or not a blockchain is private. It's whether or not the transactions are private, determine whether or not it's private. So Monero is private. I'm not saying that it makes Bitcoin or blockchains bad. The only thing I'm saying is that everything you do on blockchain on Bitcoin is public for everyone to see. And it's not a feature, or it's not a bug, it's a feature.
I'll go a step further, dude. Blockchains and Bitcoin are both pretty trash, dude.
Yeah, and by the way, if the government collapsed tomorrow, like a lot of the power grids would also go. The major internet backbones of the internet in the United States would go. So it would be a pain in the ass to use your Bitcoin.
Also, like, I don't know what sort of farmer you know that uses fucking crypto.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
no, there's lots. What are you talking about? There's lots of farmers that use crypto.
Wait, what?
Yeah, especially in third world. No, it's true. In a lot of third world shitholes, like a lot of.
Yeah, sure, but not in like the places where middle class people have crypto.
Well, I can name a farmer that does. That's the best I can do, and I'm sure there's more just like him. His name is Nick Hazelton, and he's on Hazelton Farms in Oregon, and he sells yak meat, and he'll sell it to you for Bitcoin. I'm not kidding,
dude. If you want to go all the way to Oregon to get fucking
he's a co-host. No, he's a co-host of my podcast. He's a yak farmer. That's why it's called the Anarcho Yakitalist podcast.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, dude. If you want to go all the way to Oregon to get yak meat from a guy for Bitcoin, I think something's wrong with you.
Unless you're in Oregon and you have Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, if you're in Oregon and you already have Bitcoin, fair enough. But I mean,
but he'll take cash too, though. I'm sure he'll take cash.
It's not a terrible like alternative currency.
No, I'm not bashing. I'm not bashing it at all. But if your goal is to say I want to do things like engage in things in the black market and not have the government know about it, Bitcoin is not the one to do. There's others that are shielded, specifically shielded ZCash. Regular ZCash is a public. That's a good one. That's probably the best. Monero is good, and a lot of the other crypto note coins are like that too. BIP with a P, BIP. Coin, not Bitcoin, was crypto note, and it was all those transactions were private. Yeah. Doesn't taurine come from yaks?
Dude, honestly.
Wait, are you saying that I've already had yak meat? Because I've been dying to try it.
Dude, if you
mind equal blown. I need more sips. I need more yak sips.
If you have, like your grandparents that like put like money in goddamn the random fucking places like ours, behind a fucking shelf is just like 80 grand. It's like the government doesn't fucking know that. They just think your grandparent is an idiot who spent 80 grand in 5 years. Like, the difference is they can't just find out that it exists there by searching your hard drive. Because all people don't use computers.
So trash talk has been requested.
Oh.
So I have something to say. So in his whole freak out, he said, "Get effed, bitch. You're slandering my boy while sucking Jabba's."
Ooh.
So we're slandering him by saying he's not a pedophile, by the way. Because his whole thing is he wanted to give me evidence of Esso being a pedophile, and I was like, I'm probably not going to consider that to be legit if you don't have an actual source. And he's like, well, he banned me real quick. I'm like, I'd ban you if you called me a pedophile. It's not evidence. And then he sent his thing, and then told me I was slandering Esso, right after saying he wasn't a pedophile?
Yeah, how many times in the stream did we say esoteric entity and Midnight Phantom? Either or, same person. is
So-
not a pedophile. He is not a pedophile. I have no evidence to show that he's a pedophile. I have evidence to show that he's creepy.
His own audience.
To the best of our knowledge, yeah, that's probably the best I can say. But for all intents and purposes, because I heard someone say intensive I did say someone say intensive purposes, and I was like, I cringed. But for all intents and purposes, he's not a pedophile. And I have no.
Unless your tail.
I have
Why are you
no reason to
slandering him
think
by
that he
saying
is.
he's not a pedophile?
Yeah, and if I was going around telling people that he's a pedophile, why would I just all of a sudden just stop? Like, oh no, I never said that, and then go on to tell other people that, and go, oh no, I never said that. It's like either I did or I didn't, and I didn't.
Dude, that's literally what he does, though. Like, that's why he thinks you.
Well, apparently, because someone tried to say that we took him out of context by providing the exact same, almost verbatim thing back to us. He didn't say what exactly you said. He said exactly what you said, and therefore you took him out of context.
Yeah, that's about right.
I don't know what Libra is. So, is it a blockchain? I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. So you didn't hear me say that. I said it's saying that it's a blockchain, and unless it's lying, it is. That's what I said. So go ahead and take that as a word.
It's coming. It's coming from Facebook, though. I mean,
yeah, I'm not familiar with Libra. I'm not super deep in the crypto space, but I just demonstrated that Bitcoin is not private. Now, it's pseudo-anonymous, which means that if you never share your account information, anything with any agency that could that'll work with the bank to give you cash for your Bitcoin, or you don't use things like local Bitcoins, or you don't use Bitcoin ATMs that require your ATM thing, and you never connected your Bitcoin wallet to your person, and you just use the internet completely anonymously, and you use all kinds of stuff like VPNs, Tor, whatever, you're cool. You can actually use it privately. However,
Jim, you can do that. Jim, you can do that with PayPal.
Well, the government can still track your transaction.
No,
and by the way,
PayPal will
you
get
can make
mad at you.
No, you can make a but I did this. I did this for multiple years.
I know, but PayPal will technically, if they find out, they'll terminate if it's not real information.
But they didn't.
Yeah, no, they can't just instantly know. But if they do find out,
10-minute mail.
can take all your money that's in your PayPal too.
Exactly. But 10-minute mail in 2014 was basically immortality. That was the shit.
Jim, with all the methods that you kind of described in regards to keeping your crypto wallet completely secret and out of the out of the eyes of the government, that's the equivalent of hiding a block or a block of gold under my bed and never telling anybody about it.
No, see, that would actually be safer. I mean, if the NSA so the NSA has computers that are literally cooled by an entire river in order to decrypt things. They have the ability to do it. No one is saying that encryption is unencrypted. You can't break it. You can. It's just that the most modern ones take an awful long time for modern computers to crack. However, if you have a computer that has to be cooled by an entire river, you can do a lot of things with that. And if the NSA wants to come out with after you, and they want to spend the coin to do it, they want to spend the energy to do it, they can find out everything about you. They can track you no matter what you're using.
Anything less than 256 keys are not gonna. Even if you're Ed Snowden, though, 256 is not gonna help you. But if you're a random normie, 256 means that it's just way too much hassle for anyone to actually give a shit.
No. I mean, if the NSA wants to come after you, they can, and they've taken down a lot of people who have been using Bitcoins for illegal things. And one of the reasons they connected Ross Ulbricht to the Dread Pirate Roberts, I'm probably saying that wrong, was because he was using Bitcoin. And that's why a lot of the people that came after him started going no, we're using Monero only. I think one ended up using ZenCash, but there's a bunch of them now. There's a bunch of smaller ones now, and they get shut down a lot. But
a lot of
should we go through UPB next?
Yeah,
you got an extra 8 hours?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, the only way you can spend money without being tracked is cash. However, you can trade in bullion. I have done this. There was a which I have many criticism of now. But there's other things that are like it that don't suffer that same criticism. But there was a one called Liberty Dollar, which was like these silver rounds, and it had a face value on them, which was like a little bit above what spot price was. And this was before the days that you could like pull out your cell phone and see what the spot price was. You would have to like call someone or go home an actual computer, or if you're lucky, have a laptop, plug it into the wall, because Wi-Fi really wasn't a thing yet. But there was it was a coin that basically had a face value on it. You can say, hey, I would like this thing that you're selling. Now I can pay you in cash, or I can give you this silver round that's, that has a face value of this. Like, it's up to you. You can choose whether or not you want, but that could work too. Now I've seen there's a lot of bullion companies that are selling rounds with a QR code on the back that if you scan it with the phone, it just brings up the latest Kitco spot price for silver. So that way you can be like, hey, this is, as of right now, $16 US dollars worth of silver. Do you want to trade? And a lot of people are like, fuck, look at that thing. I want silver, because everybody loves silver. Who doesn't love silver and gold? Yeah, or gold. Gold, same thing too. Can you use gold to pay your bills? No, but you can sell your gold and then pay your bill with the FRNs with it. And you can't pay your taxes in gold. That's not going to happen. They're going to be like, no. Which makes me confused when I hear like, what's his name? Peter Schiff talks about like, well, we don't like Bitcoin because you can't do a lot of things with it. Like, you can't pay your taxes with it. I'm like, dude, you can't pay your taxes in bullion. What are you talking about? Shut up, Peter Schiff. You don't know what you're talking about. He just need. By the way, I could have been a millionaire. I was thinking about buying like I can't remember how much it was, but it was a ridiculous amount of Bitcoin. And then I started listening to him talk about Bitcoin, and I was like, oh, Bitcoin's stupid. And then
Bitcoin is stupid, but at the same time, people believe in it. No, it really is super dumb.
I don't have a Bitcoin bracelet, but I have a Bipcot bracelet. If you send, I'll let you know. Like, if you want one of my bracelets, my Lolberts bracelets, you can just send me your address and like $4. That'll definitely cover shipping, and I'll send you like a bunch of them. And yeah, or whatever. He lost over his 50%. Wait, what? Peter Schiff was dude, he was humiliated on his own live stream. He couldn't even figure out how the internet worked, but he wanted to tell us how Bitcoin didn't. It was obscene. It was so hilarious. There was like a mashup video where someone like took all the best parts of it, and I watched that, and I just like, mwah. It was beautiful.
The thing with Bitcoin is enough people believe in it to the point where it's actually like, it can be traded in pretty fine, even though it's still a totally dumb gun.
I think
I
as
made money off of it. That's all I care about.
As it stands right now, it's not a very good global currency. Like the prices for it fluctuate unless you're using the Lightning Network, which comes with all kinds of various problems. It's too expensive to send money. It's actually cheaper just to wire money through Western Union as of right now, unless you're using the Lightning Network. And it's mostly true for a lot of the other ones, except for the transaction fees. Most of the transaction fees for other cryptocurrencies are extremely low. But as of right now, it's not, because people are using it for investment. Like, people are buying and selling it to make money. And as long as people are doing that, it can't really be a really good alternative to anything else. It can be, and I love the technology, and it's great. Blockchains that's a brilliant technology. Fortunately, it's being exploited, and on top of that, there's lots of scammers going around. There's lots of blockchain scammers that go around. They're like, "Hey, man, we had this really unoriginal idea, but we're going to put a blockchain to it." It's like, well, why are you putting a blockchain to it? Because there's a blockchain, and it's like, You just don't put blockchains on things to make it good. The reason why they're putting blockchains on it because it gets stupid venture capitalists to go, "Ooh, I like blockchains. I'll invest in it." And there's lots of people who go around and just go up to VCs and just be like, "Hey, I have some stupid technology. Give me money." And their whole business model relates on getting more money from venture capitalists and never actually releasing anything to the public. That's a thing that happens. And it's not just Bitcoin, too. I mean, Bitcoin, there's a lot of it. But Gary Vee talks about that a lot. I still think Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are too unstable to be used as a currency. As it stands right now, yes. Is it possible that it could be used as a currency, as a stable currency? Absolutely. Are we there yet? No. As long as people, and gold is the same way, but it's less volatile.
I just see no advantage to any crypto. Like,
I see a lot of advantage.
like what?
You can anonymize your transactions. You can buy things online that you probably shouldn't own according to the government. And I would never do anything like this.
But for that same cost, right? I could just literally go over to my other country, the most based country on earth, and basically they're just like going, dude, over there, as long as you can hit the actual targety thing, the amount of firearms you can own for self-defense purposes are far more extensive than in the US, where you have to go through all the NFA shit.
By the way, I'm checking to see how many dislikes we have right now. Do not save.
Especially within Europe, right? If you want to, I don't know, let's say you really want to snort a kilogram of cocaine, you can just go to Portugal, or I think, did the Netherlands recently do it too? One of the countries did it.
Yeah. Crypto is pretty good for imports, actually, or just international purchases in general. There's a few places in Vegas that if you use Bitcoin, they give you discounts and stuff like that. I mean, there's stuff like that that's cool. Hell yeah. When I used to, before I got DMCA'd by Cards Against Humanity, I used to sell Libertarians Against Humanity, and I used to give discounts to people who use Bitcoin. Yeah. I used to give discounts to people who bought my bracelets, bought my stickers and stuff. Yeah. I genuinely dislike everything that you do, Jim. Yeah, you should just hit that dislike button, especially on this stream. Meppy. Are you out of food or something? Did you need food? Or you just want attention? Or okay. I think she's probably she wants it.
That's mean though, Baron. This is Jim's safe space, and you shouldn't say that on his stream.
Hi, Meppy.
Hendon makes a good point against the I mean, of course, I don't advocate you can go out and, I don't know, buy an RPG, but it's probably just as easy with cash as well.
Okay.
I like Prom's calm British voice, but right behind him is my little girl. Oh, it's my little girl.
Little Meffy kitties. Meffy is Lord. All right, so we wrap this up, or do you have more to say?
Dude, I'm just trashing on crypto right now. Dude,
I
you know
hope
India's
that
trying to
esoteric
move-
entity has started taking an interest in building OCs that are around the same build and age as himself now.
India's trying to move towards a cashless society, which is really creepy, actually.
But I remember the days when libertarians used to make documentaries about how it's terrible that we're moving into an era where money is digital, and we're getting rid of cash. And it's like
I hate digital money, dude. I hate everything to do with cards.
And oh my God, they're going to chip us so that we can know every transaction. And now it's like, oh, Bitcoin, let's get on this thing. Everyone.
Dude, I sympathize with the old in that way so much, dude. I Chinese thing, I hate using cards anywhere.
No, I'm a big fan of Bitcoin and crypto and all that stuff. It's just I have some serious reservations as it stands right now. I don't. Maybe in the future, most likely in the future, things will change. But as of right now,
No, dude,
Until that, I'm gonna like if I get some, I'm gonna save it. I'm not spending a single satoshi of anything that I get in any cryptocurrency ever. You give it to me, it's mine forever.
I'm gonna stick towards only buying things in cash for the foreseeable future, dude.
See, I would be much more okay with cash if we had something like the British has, where they were like, Matthew, get away from there, where we have no pennies. But I hate having change in my pocket. It drives me nuts. I've never liked having change. I used to like throw pennies at people, and if it wasn't worth so much, I would have thrown nickels too. But I just don't like dealing with it anymore.
No, dude, I just whenever I had like coins, I just gave it to the nearest homeless person. Like I just don't care for them.
Remember when libertarians were concerned about cashless society? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I agree with Baron, though. I will sacrifice a bit of the convenience of cards to use the just the solid cash. It's just more secure.
That, and I can also tell people, like, when people go like, "Hey man, you got any change?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm all plastic, buddy. It's great." and my pockets don't jingle as I walk away, and they're like, "You fucking liar!" I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. I'm just like, "Nope."
Or you just turn to them and be like, "Don't you think it's you that needs change?"
Got him.
Then you look at them and you say, "The universe is ever changing, brother," and they're
yeah.
There's change all around you.
All right, so we've been kind of bullshitting around for like 40 minutes, so like we wrap this up in about 3 hours.
This is a severe philosophical discussion about.
And we didn't even get in all the context. I would say that Esso's estimation was off. I think you could write like a full Stefan Molyneux philosophy book full of the context for all of these events.
Call that an estimation.
Yeah, all the context to help you conceptualize it in a framework. Wait,
so
hold
that
on.
you don't miss the forced dichotomy.
Yeah, I'm going to end this stream with Don Perdue. If I can find it. I don't know how to pronounce. Yeah, here we are. So we'll just wrap up the stream with a little message from John Perdue, because
what am I saying? Literary aspirants should religiously eschew polysyllabic orthography. The philosophical and philological substructure of the principle is ineluctable.
Oh, my bad. I meant to do something else. We'll try this again.
What am I saying? Literary aspirants should religiously eschew polysyllabic orthography.
Start again.
The philosophical and philological substructure of the principle is ineluctable. Excessively attenuated verbal symbols inevitably induce unnecessary complexity and consequently exaggerate the obfuscation of the mentality of the peruser.
Jim, I know about.
Hold on.
Expressions which are reduced to the furthermost minimum of simplification and compactness, besides contributing realistic verisimilitude, constitute a much less onerous handicap to the reader's perspicacity. Observe, for instance, the unmistakable and inescapable expressiveness of onomatopoetic, interjectional, monosyllabic utterances. How much more appealing is the euphonious pulchritude than the pretentious and preposterous pomposity of elongated verbiage? What did I say? Use shorter words. That's all it means.
Rippin' pepperoni, Don Purdue. Rippin' pepperoni. All right, so
Jim.
yes, any closing statements?
So I had a bit of a moment where I almost fell asleep there, and I thought, so right, if we like lubed up your head, right, would that be
Oh, no.
easier? Would that be easier to fit into my ass than if you had hair?
I don't know. I got a pretty big head.
What would be easier,
I mean,
Jim?
galaxy brain.
Wow. Yes. Okay. So I hope everyone's enjoyed. I hope everyone disliked.
And everybody knows that I've been doing nothing but watching Mario Maker videos.
playing troll levels.
Yep.
Hopefully that's a big no from me. That's a solid no from
Does-
me.
Anal
I don't think that the butt works that way, Hop Blue.
I don't think you can eat things through your butt. I think that was just a South Park episode.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Actually, you can get drunk through your asshole.
This is true.
Yeah.
So I'm told. Hold on. Let me kick my my little bag down here out of the way. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never, never underestimate the power of furries.
Dude.
Anyways, closing statements. Let's get this over
Closing
with.
statement is that furries are the nuclear bombs of society.
Yep.
Esso should look back on his audience and see if he sees a little bit of himself in them.
And Shimhan Farash hails Satan. Worms. All right.